Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
It's true. You would get your ass kicked for saying something like that. Oh, my hat's on backwards. All right. Well, either way, we can fix that later. Doesn't matter because tonight's a very special episode of Nick the Rat Radio. It is May 1st. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. 2024. It's a lovely 11 p.m. in the evening in Brooklyn, New York. And tonight we do have a very special guest. We have an interview tonight with M. Andrew Jones. He'll be joining us shortly, right after we do one musical segment. Just wanted to come in and just, start the show up with a little hi-oh, hello, how you doing, to the sewer chatters. If you want to join into the chat, you can hop into the chat. You go to nicktherat.com, click on social, you click on any of those links in there. There's a Discord, there's an IRC, there's a Twitch chat. They all combine into the same thing. As you can see, even M. Andrew Jones is in the chat room too right now, unless it's an imposter. I don't know. I have him muted, so I can't really tell if he's even in. He might not even be on the phone with me right now. He might not be. But he's muted, so we could talk about him right now. We could say, oh, M. Andrew Jones, he's got those clown shoes, and he can't do anything about it right now. We have so much power over him. He's listening to this, and we can talk. Okay, this is horrible. You shouldn't make fun of the person you're about to interview. So before I go any further, I think we should just start the show. We're gonna have a quick musical interlude right here. We got Fireball by Beat Mechanic, and we'll be right back. And we're gonna be back with M. Andrew Jones. everybody. Hello, M. Andrew Jones. Are you there?
Hello, Nick. Yes, I'm here.
Hi. I have a question to start with. Really important question, I think. What does the M stand for?
That doesn't stand for anything.
Really?
It's just total joke.
It's a joke.
Yep.
It does separate you from all the other Andrew Joneses, though. There's a lot of you guys out there.
Well, my last name's not actually Jones either.
What?
The Andrew's real.
So you're a. Are you real? Let's hold on one second. Wait, I think I know
I'm a
something.
clone.
I think. Hold on one second here. Let me go to mandrewjones.com. And then I saw something here. I didn't know what it was. And now I'm wondering if it was what I thought it. Gee, now I lost it. Now I don't know where it is. But there was another name on that website that had Andrew in it. It was weird.
It might have been my real name.
Yeah, I think it was. Now I'm
If
trying
it
to
was
find
Andrew
it.
Limasani, it was
Yeah,
my real
that
name.
was it. Andrew Limasani. Okay.
Yeah.
So why the fake name there?
Pen name, nom de plume. Yeah, just when I decided I was going to write, it was always something I wanted to do, was have a fake name to write behind.
But what about your parents? Do your parents care?
No.
They don't.
I don't think so.
Oh, they might
They
be.
haven't said they don't.
They might be crying. They might be like he ditched our last name. It's and also whenever I see M. Andrew Jones, I just want to call you Mandrew.
Yeah, well, that's how it started.
Oh, because I'm just like I'm constantly looking. I'm like Mandrew's coming on the show. Mandrew,
Nick, you're from the city.
I am.
Do you manscape?
Sometimes, not much.
Yeah.
But like if I got the razor out and feeling a little saucy, I might do a little trimming. Might do a little bonsai action.
All right, well, I'm not saying one way or another over here, but this is how it started. Somebody accused me of manscaping, and the next thing I know, they're calling me Mandrew Jones, writing Mandrew Jones on all my cups. When I go over, because it's a coffee shop, I'm talking to the barista, and they're writing Mandrew on it, calling out Mandrew whenever it's... So I'm dragging that thing back over to my work. It's floating around, because I drink coffee for like 2-3 hours.
I see.
And people pick it up, and they're like, who the hell is Mandrew? Yeah, so that's how it started.
So I'm very happy we got to the bottom of that, and
Yeah.
I feel closer to your groin now. So that's good. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. Good old lawnmower 2.0. This is not a paid advertisement.
So you live in Colorado right now?
I do. Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs. And were you a Mormon? Are you a Mormon?
Yes, I was raised Mormon.
You were raised Mormon.
Yeah.
So does that mean you have like more testosterone or something? Because I think I was kind of raised like as a less man. I don't think I was really raised as like very like in a manly way, and that's probably why you got that Mandrew going too.
Do we have more testosterone in the Mormon religion?
Well, you're more man.
More man. Oh, damn.
Mormon. All right, that's a lame joke.
It's a thing.
So that means you don't drink or smoke or anything like illicit other than coffee, I guess?
Well, ex-Mormon.
So that means you drink and you smoke.
Well, coffee's like the one thing I don't do anymore.
Well, you live in
Yeah,
Colorado.
drinking,
Do you smoke the reefer ever?
Yes.
Oh my God! I hope your parents aren't listening.
Yeah, that's the...
Would your parents be
Probably
upset if
not.
they
It's
heard
past
that?
their bedtime.
Oh, it is past the bedtime. Well, this is a podcast. I'm tricking you into saying stuff. Everybody's going to hear this.
My parents are old. They don't know what podcasts are.
What's that podcast thingamajigger?
Newfangled, whatever you kids are playing with, all that technology.
So, do you mind me getting more into your Mormonism, or
Sure.
because I do have questions. I got questions about
answers.
it. Why did you like being a Mormon in the Mormon religion?
There were cool things about it.
What was the
Yeah,
coolest
like lots of
thing?
kids.
A lot of kids. Yeah.
The coolest thing about it would probably be the community. It's a very tight-knit group.
Yeah. That seems to be like the big thing
So-
with like religion stuff, like churches. People come together. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So why'd you stop?
Questions? Because they're full of crap.
Well, everybody's full of crap as long as the people are nice. I think it's well, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, well, oh my. Well, you really are opening a can of worms. Well, we're in the sewer, so might as well.
If you don't want to talk about it,
there's-
we could talk about other things.
Well, we can talk about it. I don't mind.
Okay.
Mormonism in Colorado is much different than Mormonism in Utah.
Okay.
In Colorado, it's much more accepting because there are far fewer Mormons out here. But when you get to Utah, everybody's Mormon, so it becomes rather political. And, well, my parents were divorced, so when my mom moved 5 of us kids out to middle of Utah County, which is very Mormon, we weren't well received, so...
Wow. What a bunch of assholes. I'm sorry. That's fucked up.
This
Yeah,
is
I
what it
guess
is.
that could probably sour you on the Mormons. You know.
Yeah, well, and then she started hanging out with the people that accepted her, and so...
And then she became a
we're
biker.
in circles
Hell's
of-
Angels.
No. More like hanging out with the fundamentalist fringe Mormons. The
Wow.
ones with all the really weird ideas. Yeah. So
So where do you currently stand on in the universe? Are you religious at all, or
yeah, I'm very religious.
is
I think most people are. I would define it in a different way than most people would.
how do you define your religion?
Well, religion to me are just what you believe.
Well, what you
So
believe?
So there are two ways of thinking of things. You know things and you believe things. And the things you know have been tested. So like let's say if you're a mechanic or you grow weed or whatever you do, make podcasts. So you have a lot of technical knowledge when it comes to making podcasts, right? You know how to like do all the programming, work with all the programming, you know how to work with your microphone, your computer. It's a lot of information that you've had to what's the word? Collate. You've had to go through it. You really know it, you got it down to a science. Whereas belief is just simple stuff where it's like you've heard a couple of stories and this feels right to you, and so I'm gonna go with that. Does that make sense?
It does. If I had to believe that my computer would work every time I turned it on, that would be really scary.
Yeah.
But so now you're Jewish. You said you had Hanukkah socks.
No, they're just Hanukkah. Every year I get these soft Bath and Body socks from my sister-in-law for Christmas. And so I got polar bears and I got skunk socks and now I got happy Hanukkah socks. That's
Very
just what they
nice.
had.
I need to get new socks. My socks all got holes in them.
Well,
But anyway,
It's probably the neighbors. The neighbors are chewing in them.
I do blame them. I do blame. So you're also you like the No Agenda podcast, I think, right? Is that the name of
Yeah,
it? I think I heard
that's
of them.
one of them.
How did you get into the No Agenda podcast? When did you first start listening?
Oh, my brother got me into it. I was going down the conspiracy rabbit hole, and let's see, I was listening to like School Sucks podcast and Peace Revolution and all kinds of stuff. And
NPR?
No Agenda was one of the big ones, and it's just one of the ones that's always stuck with me because it's so good. They're just on it. And I think it's the levity that they bring to the. No, I never. Well, I listened to NPR on the radio, but I never listened to any of the NPR podcasts.
You gotta listen to. They're great. I forget. I actually forgot all the fucking names of all the NPR shows because was it Soundscape? Either way, so what?
I can't keep up with all the No Agenda inspired podcasts like Bowl After Bowl and Homegrown Hits, Nick the Rat, of course. We've got to Walk Through the Mind, the Angry Bastards with their Planet of Rage. There's just so many of them.
And then there's Darren O
O
too. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That guy's doing everything. What conspiracy is your favorite? Do you have like a favorite conspiracy?
Oh yeah, I do. Like my favorite, I really like the Hollow Earth.
The hollow.
I feel like it's got to be hollow and growing. Can't be flat.
The hollow Earth thing. The best part of that conspiracy is if the Earth wasn't hollow, like if we're walking on the inside of it because your shoes are like bent up because when you step down, the Earth is like you're on the inside, so your shoes bend up.
Oh.
At the tip.
So it really is a concave Earth.
Yeah. And the proof's right on your feet.
So when all the flat earthers are like, why don't the planes notice that the tip is slightly down because you're flying over a curved Earth? It's actually the nose of the plane is slightly up because it's flying around the inside of a big giant. Oh my God, my mind is blown.
Yeah, it's. I don't think I had one to blow, but it's been blown again, indeed. How about
Well, your little amygdala is probably just.
if it did? You just popped my amygdala, baby. It should be like a new thing instead of like Netflix and chills, like pop my amygdala. Anyway, do you believe in aliens?
Oh yeah. Totally. Well, all right. So there's definitely like more life in the universe. Like everywhere on Earth that we go, you pick up any rock, peel it over, or any twig, whatever, dig deep down into the ocean. There's life. There's life everywhere. It's just floating through the air. It's just floating through the air and giving people yeast infections and whatnot.
There's life in between your legs.
Yeah. So the idea that there's not life out in the stars, like, are you crazy? It's probably everywhere. There's proboplasma beings like floating around on the sun, like dancing, doing their angel things.
Do you ever think that they came here though? Like, do you think there's like intelligent life that has visited Earth? Yeah,
I'm for it. I think so.
Huh. Okay.
I would say I believe it's part of my religion.
What religion is this?
Well, I don't have any proof.
You have a religion that believes in aliens? Wait, are you a Scientologist now?
No.
Okay. I don't know why people shit on
I mean,
Scientologists so much. Sure, they're money hungry, grubby liars most of the time, but they seem really cool. They dress nice and they got nice hair and stuff.
I have no idea. I don't know any Scientologists.
I don't know any of them either. They used to be in the subway though. They did have. I do remember seeing all the stress tests, and I didn't know about Scientology back then. But they always had these people at the tables doing the stress test thing. But they stopped doing that since they've been outed as being like a scam sort of. But
No, since it's bullcrap.
yeah, but like, is it bullcrap? Maybe it's real. Who knows?
But I mean, maybe. I don't know. I read some of L. Ron Hubbard's books. I mean, Battlefield Earth is pretty good.
Is the book better than the movie?
Sci-fi. Oh yeah, the movie's terrible.
But what's his face is so
Unwatchable.
cool looking in it. Fucking was about to say Danny
Yeah.
DeVito. That's not a
Barry Pepper, he's hot. John Travolta.
John Travolta. Yeah. That was a good. That was a bad movie. It was pretty bad, but it's fun. It had some things.
I wanted to like it. It was a pretty good book. So
Battlefield.
it's thick. I got through the whole thing.
Have you read any books recently?
Yeah. Dandelion Wine by, do you know Ray Bradbury? Fahrenheit 451?
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently he did a bunch of books. He's got like 40 or something, but I've read 2. I've read Fahrenheit and I've read Dandelion Wine. And Dandelion Wine's not the same sort of thing at all. Because Fahrenheit 451 is very dystopian, and Dandelion Wine reads more like Huck Finn, where it's about these 2 boys in 1928, and they've got this obsession with machines. So there's an electric car in it, which is pretty fascinating. And then there's like a trolley and some like everyday kind of casual things. And then there's like a happiness machine and a time machine, and it's really cool.
Now, do they actually make Dandelion Wine in the book?
Yeah, they start making Dandelion Wine, and like the very last page, they're drinking Dandelion Wine.
Is that real? Because there's dandelions all over, and if I could get drunk for cheaper.
It's delicious. I've actually made some. I'll send you the recipe I use. Dandelion wine.
It is real. Look at that. I thought this was just something that Ray Bradbury was smoking on or something, but apparently it's.
No, it's really good.
Is it like mead?
Tasty. Yeah, where it's pretty thick and it's not terribly alcoholic and a little on the sweet side because you add a bunch of sugar to it.
Yummy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What else have I read?
Ray Bradbury, the Fahrenheit 451 book. I liked it. It was scary. It was like with the firemen that started fires and they burnt books. But
Yeah. The firemen all start fires.
yeah, but the thing is that can't come true anymore because everything is the digitalized now. So it's not like it's disappearing. If you burn a book, there's still a digital copy somewhere. And
That's true. We'll have to burn all the computers. And just stinkier fires.
that would be a big old
A little more
stinky fire.
gasoline.
Yeah,
It's not a problem. We can do it.
I think we can do it. We could definitely burn all the computers.
You and I, Nick.
There's no problem. Let's go around
Let's,
the world
like,
burning computers.
yeah, firefighters are a big thing in New York. You and I will be the new class of firefighters, starting fires and fighting people with them. Something like that.
It might catch on, or we might go to jail. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you'd just slip right out. And bars are pretty wide.
I could probably get a pick for something for you to get out as well. Have you ever been to prison?
I spent a day in prison. Yeah, just one.
What'd you do? Why did you go to the slam? I got arrested once for possession of marijuana. They had me locked up. For a while.
Well, I never actually smoked until it was legal in Colorado, so it wasn't a problem. I got pulled over. Well, I got in trouble because I was fighting the man, and so I wasn't paying my registration. I wasn't renewing my registration on my car, and I was trying to fight him in court, and nothing happened. They just rolled over and crushed me in their sleep.
Wow, they sent you to jail for that?
Just for a day.
That's crazy. Like I thought they would just send the bill collectors and stuff, but I guess they'll send you to jail.
Yeah, well,
too.
when they catch up to you and you got a warrant out for your arrest. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
because they
putting
yeah.
you in
Hey,
jail until...
no wonder you're changing your name. Now I'm starting to see what's going on here, Manderson, Mr. Manderson.
One of these names has a future and the other does not.
Well, Mr. Manderson, can we take a quick musical interlude break?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this one is called
rock
Bigfoot
on.
Beats, Bigfoot Hunt, and we'll be back and we'll talk more with M. Andrew Jones, if that's your real name.
I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What's going on here? You know what I mean? Where am I? Where am I?
Boom. And we're back with Mr. M. Andrew Anderson. I was about to call you Anderson. M. Andrew Jones. And he has written a whole bunch of books. Hold on, let me get this microphone away from me. I have two of them with me right here. I think you actually might have sent me your other two as well. I got the Children of the Broken Moon, The End of Marvelous. You also have a numbers book. I was told by Lady Mountain Jay to talk to you about the numbers book.
Might as well. We've already started on religion.
Oh, it's a religious shenanigans going on in there?
Well, I'll read you the back blurb. The story of number is a poetic and philosophic examination of language, religion, magic, and the occult that aims to prove you are at the center of everything.
Whoa, that's like a very, very egocentric view? Or is it id-centric? Very you-centric? So
yeah, egocentric. Well, it doesn't say that you're like the... I mean, like, there's more to the universe than just you. You just happen to be at the center of it.
Of your universe,
So,
yeah. Everybody,
Well,
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
so it's all individual.
It's kind of Einsteinian, like relativity. Your life is relative to you. Your universe is relative to you.
Yeah. So, like your whole life, everything that you experience will be from your perspective. So, like, wherever you go, wherever you are, like, everything, the whole universe extends from you in 360 degrees all around you, up, down, left, right, forward, back. So I mean, like, we're each the center of our own universes, and we all matter. We're all made of matter. We all matter. God loves us. That sort of thing.
Now, did you write this book after moving to Colorado and getting into the sticky icky?
That's gonna be close. It was actually inspired by Children of the Broken Moon. I was working on the one of the main characters, the shaman that's on the cover.
Yeah.
So he's a mute. He doesn't speak, and I needed a way for him to communicate with other people. So I was trying to figure out a system that would work where he would, like, draw symbols on the ground, and people would intuit what he was trying to get across. And little did I realize what I was doing was I was designing a language. But anyway, I got really nerdy into symbolism. I was looking at the Masons. I was looking at the Illuminati, Babylon, Hollywood. Anybody that does a lot of like symbolism that could teach me like... Anyway, I started to see some things that I wasn't expecting. Came to realize that, well, especially with Hollywood, I was like, these people believe there's some real dark messaging in a lot of Hollywood movies. And it was kind of freaking me out because a lot of these people tout that there is no God and just enjoy your life. It's all for nothing, that kind of thing. But they believe in a higher power. So that made me think that they were right on that point, and they just had the wrong idea about what that power is. Because from my point of view, they tend to worship a very dark power.
Are the people you're referring to like the people, not like the actors, or a higher level, like writers or producers and or just everybody? Probably actors are in on it.
Definitely, not everybody. The people that know, I would think that the directors, maybe some of the producers, the art directors, maybe some of the actors. I have no idea who knows or what, like who are the ones that are setting out these messages. I don't know, but I do know that they're setting out these messages because they're just plain as day, and they're not always bad. Like, have you seen that movie Warm Bodies, the zombie flick?
It's ringing a bell. Hold on, I gotta look at a picture. I'm very visual based. Warm Bodies. Let me just see. Yes, I seen this. It was a pretty goofy movie.
Yeah. Well, it's a rehashing of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Her name's Julie. His name is R. He can't remember his name. There are two families. You got the zombie family. You got the living family. There's the whole balcony scene even. Okay, so at one point he gets in the way. I think they're trying to shoot his friend, and they shoot him instead, and he falls from a height and he lands in a fountain. Well, and then when he comes back up, he's human and he's able to speak again. And what it is it's a baptism scene. Like, he's being baptized. He goes in a zombie, he gets shot, he can't talk. He takes this great fall, hits the water, comes back up. His girlfriend rescues him, and now he's able to talk. He's back to being human. So,
Is that part of like I'm going a little bit off on a different tangent here, but have you heard like there's only 7 stories that were ever told? Like there's like man versus man, man versus nature. I'm sorry. People versus man. People versus nature. Crap.
People versus people.
Yeah, people versus people.
No, I don't know this.
There's something about that, but I'm not too sure, so I can't really talk about it. But there is definitely retellings of stories, and there are messages that are carried forth, and there could be good messages in Hollywood movies. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not all dark. But, I mean, you see, like, the one-eye stuff all the time, and, like, the checkerboard floors, and there's a lot of this stuff that's just, they commonly repeat it. And I don't know how much anybody knows about what they're actually... Like, are they just copying the last guy? Are they just trying to be cool and get in with the in-group? Or, I don't know.
That's a very good question. Do you know about the Zeitgeist? Have you heard about...
Yeah, Zeitgeist is like it's the spirit of the age. Or are you talking about the movie that came out that was all about like...
the spirit of the age. It's because what you're talking about, like who is the message creator? There seems to be a message that is going through society that is kind of like it's a zeitgeist, I guess. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's also the original meaning of meme, was you have these digestible packets of information that are kind of like not stories, but like story elements. And so these things pass through culture, and then it's like it's what people talk about, it's what they argue about. It's like, like the abortion argument's a meme, but it's a social meme. It's not a computer meme. It's
Man,
the old definition of meme.
abortion's a real tough nugget. It's
Yeah, it might have been the wrong thing to bring up.
it's yeah. Let's skip abortion. Let's talk about.
Let's
talk.
I got a bone to pick with you.
You do?
Oh, you're giving OJ a bad name, sir. I think OJ is delicious and good for you and the whole 9 yards. But I'm taking my checks from Tropicana and I'm cashing them as fast as I can.
Big OJ is coming on the show. Oh no, I thought you were talking about OJ Simpson for a second.
Oh no.
I was like, what? I'm giving OJ
The
Simpson
juice is
a
good
bad.
for you.
I thought it was
He'll
very.
get you yards. He'll get you touchdowns.
Do you remember where you were when OJ was in the white Bronco?
I don't. I must have been in like high school. What year was that? OJ Simpson, Bronco.
I remember I was using a telephone, talking to a friend, and sitting on my parents' bed watching that happen. I remember exactly where I was. I don't know why. Memory is
I wasn't
weird.
too taken with the whole story.
It was forced on us, though. It was like forced into the media and into our lives. Like, you know how many people die every day and get murdered?
I feel like only Bills fans cared.
Probably. Could be. Oh, that's good. It's getting hot in the sewer.
I got a question. I got another question for you. We're talking about you for a second.
Sure.
Are you related to the rats of Nim?
Is the secret out? Oh no.
I don't. It might be. Did I just crack a story? Your scientist gonna
My
pull something new?
great grandmother might have been related to somebody from that project, but it's neither here nor there to say.
Yeah, I mean, I got no bones to pick with the rats and Nim.
Did you watch that cartoon? You ever see it?
Oh yeah, it was great.
It was a good one.
I don't remember much of it. Were they stealing electricity from the farmer? What else were they doing?
First there was all the Nim experiments, then they broke out, then there was some magic. It was a weird movie. I don't know how that even got made, actually.
It's like 80s anime, I want to say.
It's like, hey, let's make a kids movie, and we're gonna make it about that horrific science experiment where all the rats ate each other.
They did a couple of good movies. I want to say, was that by the same people that did like The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, The Last Unicorn?
Maybe. Last Unicorn was awesome. That was a great one.
I feel like it was. The Last Unicorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That was a good one. And Heavy Metal. But that's not. Some of these weren't for kids.
Yeah, that was later.
Yeah, that was yeah.
That was definitely not for kids.
No, there's just boobs everywhere. Boobs and more boobs and coke.
Yeah. Was that Rob Zombie?
I don't think Rob. Maybe.
He did a cartoon. I don't think it was Heavy Metal. I think it was something else. But I want to say he did a cartoon too.
His wife?
I have no idea
I'm
what it's
joking.
called.
That's how I don't. His wife's not a cartoon. His career has become sort of a cartoon though. He did the Addams
I have
Family.
no
He
idea
did
what
a
he's doing
new
these days.
The Munsters. He redid the Munsters recently, and that was really bad. Ow! How do you redo the Munsters? Did you hear the song that I played to introduce you in the beginning? I'm not too sure if you heard that.
Yeah, I did. That was fantastic.
It was.
Yeah, she knew my name and everything.
That was AI.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I just typed the words in and said, I forget what kind of style, and then I just hit enter, and then that came out, and it sounds real. Do you have opinions on AI?
Well, now that I have a robot girlfriend, I'm all for it. Like, write more songs about me, babe.
I can make one right now for you, honey.
I actually argue with my brother about AI all the time because I'm like, it's not real intelligence. It's just an algorithm. It doesn't make choices. Does it forego like immediate pleasures for like, the future gratification kind of a thing?
Are you pro or against AI? This one's easier than abortion here. This one's a...
I'm for like computer programs, but it's not really real AI.
Okay. Are you for creating stuff easily? I guess.
Yeah.
Have you ever used quote unquote AI, like a large language model? Have you ever used one?
No. But one of my friends did challenge me when I started writing my zombie book. He challenged me to a writing contest where he had an AI do a chapter of a zombie book, and then I wrote a chapter of a zombie book. I think my chapter is way better.
Oh, yeah.
Not nearly as generic.
Oh, geez, no. I like to use it and then edit it. Kind of like use it as like a whole base thing. As like, okay, this is a bad story. Let's make it interesting. Let's slap some titties on this zombie or something. Because you got the power to do anything. So you could take the AI thing and then make it your own. I think it's just it's very useful for it's kind of like throwing shit at the wall and seeing if anything sticks, sort of.
So AI would be like, if you got a rotting zombie and that's like the natural order of things, and then you got like these huge plastic silicone and they're still just prime and perfect, and yet her face is like only half there, or his. I mean, you never know nowadays. It's a brave new world. Yeah, that's my analogy for AI and zombies.
That was a great book too.
So World War Z is a crazy good book. No, so I have to compete with that.
I have not read that one, but I heard it was really good. I heard it was so good that they made a movie out of it, and some video games.
Yeah, and the movie's okay.
I heard the movie was okay.
But
I've been sick of zombies for a long time.
Perfect. My book's coming out right on time. Like maybe in another 3 months I'll have the first act done, and
well, there might be a resurgence.
Totally
they might come back to life for me, because I got sick of them like 20 years ago. But things comes in cycles. So maybe I'm ready for some more zombie goodness. I haven't had any zombie fun in a while, but it's.
Yeah.
I think it's because I played a lot of.
I don't know. It's one of the. I don't feel like it's.
You don't feel it's like it's what?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those genres that never really dies.
You could do different things with it, but it's
a terrible zombie pun.
It's do you play video games at all?
I used to play WoW and LOL, and now I play a little bit of Magic Arena, and I'm actually embarrassed to admit it.
I can almost smell you through the microphone here. Magic players are at the conventions are known to be some of the stinkiest of the.
Yeah, we're a smelly lot.
I don't think you're part of that group there, Manderson.
I shower at least twice a week.
I have a couple friends that are like high level Magic players, and they go to tournaments and stuff. I'm like, wow. But you ever hear of Left 4 Dead? It's a zombie game by Valve. It came out a long time ago, and I played the fuck out of it. So I think that kind of just it. I was killing millions of zombies daily. So I missed that game.
Yeah, that'll sour you.
It could.
Yeah. It's like you've never escaped the zombie apocalypse. You had to deal with it for like 10 years straight.
And did you like The Walking Dead? You ever watch that show?
I watched about the first 2 seasons, and I got really upset with when they were on the farm, and all they're doing is going around picking fights with each other. And I was like, shouldn't you be growing things? Shouldn't you be like digging ditches and putting spikes in them and like traps and I don't know, like searching for supplies and trying to figure shit out and like getting gasoline or something? Like they were so dumb. It was so I couldn't do it. After they started driving around and they were like falling out of cars while shooting shotguns, I'm like, I can't do this. This is dumb.
I stopped after the first episode. I couldn't.
See, you had more sense than me. Even rats have more sense than me.
Like, sometimes we could. Sometimes.
God, you're smarter than you look. I swear, you little furry. We don't have rats, but we got the tree rats. Your ancient enemy, those little nut huggers.
Fuzzy-tailed. They're cute. I don't mind them.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Yeah, the tree rats.
You ever? Yeah. Talking about tree rats. You ever go hunting?
No, I'm gonna say that too.
Have you ever fired a gun?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I fired all kinds of guns. Well, when you're living among fringe Mormons, you know.
I didn't know guns were big in the Mormon community.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. They're persecuted people. You gotta have your guns. You gotta defend yourself from the evil government.
Wow. This changes my opinion of Mormons completely. I thought they were defenseless, little, harmless creatures. I didn't know they were packing.
Oh no.
Joseph Smith was packing. Was that his name?
Yeah. Well, Joseph, he was shot to death. In Illinois. Was it Illinois? Maybe it was Missouri. I don't remember. But he was shot to death, very famously. And then the Mormons came west, and there was actually a point after the Civil War when the U.S. government sent some little army after the Mormons, and the Mormons actually rescued them up out of the mountains. And it was like this big famous deal because they got caught in a terrible storm. It wasn't really their own fault. And so then the Mormons, went up and rescued them and fed them. And then the troops went back and they weren't going to be persecuting them after they saved their lives, so.
In this book you're writing, is Joseph Smith going to come back as a zombie?
No. No, I don't. I write my own religious stuff. I don't. I've read some Mormon. Do you know who Orson Scott Card is?
Did he do Ender's Game?
Yeah, that's the guy. Have you ever heard of Prentice Alvin?
Princess Alvin? Simon Theodore?
Apprentice Alvin. It's one of his book series. He did Seventh Son and Red Prophet and Apprentice Alvin and Heartfire, Crystal City.
I have heard of those, but I've only read Ender's Game. I really, really loved Ender's Game, though. I thought that was...
Ender's Game is absolutely fabulous. And the first 2 books of the Prentice Alvin series are fantastic. I haven't read all of it. But apparently it is a fictional retelling of Joseph Smith's life.
Huh.
So it's already been done.
Gotcha.
Old hat.
Didn't Orson... Well, this a topic we shouldn't probably talk about, but didn't Orson Scott Card, didn't he get canceled because he said something about gay people? I'm not even sure what he said.
Not by me. I don't know, maybe.
He might have said something, but either way, Ender's Game was amazing. That was maybe... I wish I read that when I was younger. I wish I read that when I was 5.
Yeah, I read it in high school. He's done some really good works. The Worthing Saga is probably my absolute favorite.
Oh. I'll have to... maybe I will read those as well. Put those on my... Matt, Mr. Andrew, son, can we take another quick music break? And we're going to come back, and I want to talk to you about writing.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We're going to take a quick music break. We're going to listen to Bonafide by JP. We'll be right back with Andrew Jones, if that's your real name. We're back. I got another beer I got to open up here.
Oh, I opened mine off mic.
What kind of beer?
It's not beer
What
anyway.
are you what you drinking over there?
I'm drinking a Dram cardamom and black tea herbal sparkling water.
Is there a
It's
brand on
delicious.
there, or did you make this yourself?
Dram.
Oh, Dram is the
Dram
name. I
out
thought
of-
Dram was like a chemical or something. I thought you were just drinking chemicals.
Oh, no. Nope. They're out of Salida, Colorado.
Well, cheers to you,
And they do. Cheers.
Andrew. Where do you like to write?
I usually write, well, it's currently on my kitchen table. And I write straight onto the internet. Most of it.
Straight onto the internet, so you have a direct connection to the internet from your kitchen table.
Well, I write straight onto my website. So,
I have noticed
do
that
the
your
typing
website
onto
is.
my
Did you?
website.
What is going on? Did you make this website? Where is it?
I did.
So 469,273 words have been typed directly into the internet from your tabletop.
Well, I mean, the latter stuff for sure. There's some of the newer stuff. No, yeah, some of the early stuff, some of the was done by hand or on a Word program.
Do you have
But
like
now I like to write directly to my site.
did you code this yourself?
No, it's from Squarespace.
Okay. I was about to say, wow, I didn't know you were a big coding nerd too. This is pretty cool. So it's you like log in, you write, and does that number update? Is that like a live number?
No, I have to. I go back and I count each individual word, 5, 6, 7, and it takes me about a week to. No, I just copy paste it onto LibreOffice, and they give me a word count.
Oh wow. Okay.
So and then I add it all up.
So, all right. So then you write that. Okay. I thought there
I
was
probably do
a
that every
lot
6
more.
months.
There's a lot more stuff. I'm a little stoned right now, so I'm thinking like your website is. Oh my! It's midnight in the sewer. Just have to say that. Okay. Wait.
Yeah,
For you,
it's been 469,000 words for like 6 months now.
you haven't had time to write.
No, that's just the official count. Like, it's actually probably.
Oh, yeah,
It's
'cause
getting
it's
close
not-
to 500,000. It's probably 490, 480.
It's weird. It's like mileage on a car. It's like your word mileage on your person. Oh,
Yeah, I also do, like, if you look below where the books are sold, I have, like, how many copies are sold of each book.
oh really?
Yeah. Help me get those numbers up, people. Do your job.
Go to M. Andrew Jones and oh yeah, look at that. Are those? Are you putting those numbers in, or is that smart? Is that from? Is that
No, I'm putting them in.
okay? So it's all through you. Okay.
That's why they haven't been updated since July 2023. Yeah.
All right. So do you type on a laptop, or is it a desktop computer?
It's a laptop.
Laptop. Is it dare I ask a Macintosh?
No, it's a POS Hewlett Packard. But it is running Linux, so I do what I can.
Oh, you're running what
Pop
flavor
OS.
Linux are you running?
Yeah, the good old pop with an exclamation mark OS.
And wait, did you say what program you used to do you type? Well, Libre is Libre the program? It's like
LibreOffice is where I back up all my works, so it's a shareware and it's really good. And so, like, I write it up on the internet and then I copy paste it into LibreOffice and then I back it up and then I back it up onto a little what the hell are those little dongles called?
Peckers.
Crap. Packers.
USB thumb
Yeah,
drive.
I just plug my other thumb drive into the computer.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Back it up, people, because one day Squarespace is gonna cancel me and the whole site's gonna disappear.
Oh, have you ever lost writings? Have you ever written something and then lost it? Written something and lost it?
Yeah, a couple of hours. But that's the biggest loss I've ever had is maybe I've written for a couple of hours and then it didn't save and I got disconnected and then.
You're like, fuck.
There are ways to get around it because it tells me when it has errors, and if it doesn't back up, then I can just copy paste it, put it in LibreOffice, and then wait for it to come back up. But it's happened a couple of times where it didn't save it, and then I've accidentally refreshed, and then I've lost some time.
Would you rather get shot or lose a lot of your writings? Well, I guess that's a little extreme.
Well, I have a lot of backups, so it'd be pretty impressive if I lost all my writings at this point.
Yeah, make sure those backups are backed up. Back up your backup. Make the backups.
Yeah, back up your backups. So I'll get backup for your backup for your backup. It's a thing, people.
It definitely is. I lost some writings once, and I used to be a prolific poetry writer in high school, and was using like Live Space, I think it was called, or something, and I lost like 2 years worth of poetry that I was doing, and then I just never did it again. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, 2 years worth of anything is a lot.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah,
Dang.
there's a lot of poetry that I wrote, and after that, I was like, fuck. Did you ever write poetry?
I do a little bit. Very, very little. If you go into the writings tab and then go short form,
Yeah.
a lot of those are poems. So, like, here, I'll read you one. This one's to be and not to be. Gods are to be revered but not worshipped. Devils are to be reviled but not mocked. Beasts will be dangerous but do not be afraid. Vegetables are and they are the majority. Do not be a vegetable. Just
But vegetables are healthy. No,
they're delicious,
they're delicious, especially if
but you
you
don't want to be one.
cook them. Yeah. Do you ever feel like a vegetable? Like you ever get like writer's block or creativity block?
Yeah, it doesn't stick. Writer's block is usually just when you actually sit down and you're staring at a blank page and you're not connecting with your story. So, because, like, there's tons of things to write. I have tons of ideas and things that I need to write. But I do, like, get that where I sit down and I'm just, like, staring at the page and, like... And it just takes a couple of minutes. And then I, like, just... All right, who are my characters again? What are they doing? Where is the story? Like, what's plot? And where is it moving? Where are we at? Kind of a thing. And then it usually starts to flow very slowly and then faster and faster and then just start typing.
Then you get in the zone,
Yeah.
and then 5 hours later, you got You wrote a lot, man. These books are thick.
Yeah, a couple of them are really thick. The next one coming out is even thicker. It's 160,000 words. So,
Those numbers, they're not rookie numbers. You're getting up there. Good stuff. Have you ever written naked in the bathtub? Okay, no, that's not a real question. That is not a real question.
I've written naked, not in the bathtub.
Do you know of any writing tricks? I don't know if that's even a real question, but
Let's see. What are some things that have been very helpful for me? Definitely, I'm a heavy editor, so like write it out the first time, and then I like to go over it again and again and again and again.
How much do you write when you start to go over it? Do you like write a couple pages, couple sentences?
Oh no, I'll write. Yeah, I'll write for hours. So I'll do maybe a couple of hours, and then I'll start to lose. And I'll even do that for a couple of days sometimes. So like, I really know where the story's going. I really know what the characters want. I really know what I'm trying to do next. And so I'll write today, and then I'll have things to do. And so after a couple of hours, I got to go out and do other stuff. And then I come back. Next day, I start writing again. I know right where I'm picking up. So then I'll do that until the story starts to get fuzzy and I start to lose the motivation and trying to figure out, all right, what else do I need to happen? Because I tend to have a lot of characters and I tend to have a lot of moving pieces and different settings, and so I need things to happen over here at a certain time and things to happen over there at a certain time. So then once I start to lose the threads of the story, that's when I go back and start, maybe not at the beginning, but definitely far earlier than I am, and then I just read a couple of chapters and I just clean them up and make them all nice and glossy, and down to where I keep doing that down to where I currently am, and then by then I've picked back up those threads and I know exactly where I'm weaving the story again, and so then I just start writing more fresh story.
You get back on that horse. That's, I see it.
Yeah.
If you do hit a block though, like if I hit any sort of thought blocks, I find taking a shower helps me. I don't know why, but standing in the shower is a very big mind unclogger for me, and also sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to hike, just get outside,
Nature. Yeah.
go walk around the neighborhood, stare at flowers, that kind of thing. And then I take copious notes. I I have little shreds of paper all over the place that have different ideas and sayings and just all kinds of notes, characters. Yeah.
Do you have a? Do you use a when you take notes? You use a pen?
Yep.
What's-
Yeah, I tend to take notes longhand.
What's wrong with your hands? Why are they so long? No, it's a. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite?
I'm one of those lucky people. I don't got those little nubby hands.
I got little itty bitty hands. What is? Do you have a favorite pen or pencil? What do you use to take your notes with?
Um,
Do you have a go-to?
you know, not really.
Just
Just
whatever?
whatever pen I like writes nice and silky smooth at the moment. There is one style, but I don't have one handy, and so I can't remember exactly what it is.
Oh, that's
So
fine.
I think it's a Pilot. It's one of the gel pens.
Sorry, I'm a little high right now. Would it be okay, Andrew Jones, if I opened up the phone lines and had people possibly call in and ask you questions?
You want the plebs to ask questions?
Perhaps.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me see if I could.
Bring them on. Let's do this. What you got, people?
Let's
Give me
op-
your questions.
Let's open the phone lines here. You never know what you're gonna get with the phone line though, because like there's a whole. I got like all these. You want to hear a voicemail of something that like you might hear?
Sure.
All right, I don't know what this is gonna be like. But let's listen.
Nick, it's Kev. Kevbot, you need to fucking get back on No Agenda and fucking do some art and shit. I don't know, you're probably too busy for that and everything, but we really miss you, man. Kevbot out.
All right, yeah. Kevin, I'm there all the time. I don't have. Time is hard. Time is hard.
Your NGO agenda boat, that was a fantastic piece of art.
That was mostly AI. I did alter it. It's 'cause, I've altered pixels before, but yeah, that was a good idea. The NGO and the thing, it worked out pretty well. But I miss doing art for it. It is a time thing. It's Do you listen to every episode?
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I'm pretty regular. I even listen to a lot of it in the troll room
Well,
Oh,
when
hey.
I can.
Oh, you're in the troll room, but you don't say anything. Hello, caller. Caller, are you there?
hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on the line. Andrew, can you hear the caller?
I can.
Caller, can you
Hi
hear
there,
Andrew?
Yeah, what's your question, caller?
So the experience of ideation, I wonder about. What is your experience of getting a new idea to writing that onto paper? Is it like there's often this idea of like the writer being possessed by his spirit, by sort of channeling. I was wondering if that's true for you, or if you're going like mechanically through ideas, like, well, this has to happen, then that, then that, then that, and it sort of takes over. So, yeah, is it more of a inspiration or a mechanical process?
Okay. For me, it definitely starts with inspiration. I like to write just whatever strikes my fancy. So I'll tend to come up with really silly jokes that I just can't stop smiling about them, and so then I'll put them down in my notes, and then they'll appear up in my writing. I tend to be really deliberate about what my stories are, but I tend to wait for like inspiration. Like okay, so I don't know. Should I give you So I have a note about a new story that I want to write, and it just struck me as such a funny idea. So I was thinking about this lesbian couple, and they want to have a baby, and so I was thinking, instead of they try the what do they call the fake baby making, the
Artificial womb?
the artificial, the in vitro, what is it?
IVF?
I call it turkey basted. I don't know. That's
in vitro fertilization. That's it. That's what it is.
IVF.
So they try that, it fails, and they decide that instead of spending all this money, they're just gonna get drunk, go down to the local pub, pick up some guy, and then see if one of them gets pregnant. But instead, both of them get pregnant. And the guy who's initially like, we'll do this, and I don't need to have anything to do with no baby, changes his mind, and now he totally wants to be in the baby's life. And there's 2 babies. And that just struck me as hilarious. So I was like, so now I'm going to do a story about this.
So you start with the premise, and then just sort of see where it takes you?
Yeah, like, how can we complicate it? Okay, so first we got this couple, and they want to have a baby. So then what if instead of one baby, they both end up pregnant? And then what if instead of it just being the 2 of them, well, now you got this guy that's their grenade that they jumped on. Well, now he decides he wants to be involved and that he wants to be a father.
Oh, so they're both his?
He's like trying, huh?
Oh, they're both his in the same night?
Did he?
Yeah, it's a threesome. Yeah.
Oh, so they took home one dude to see if they could. Okay. What? How did he?
Yeah.
He went twice. If 2 chicks bring me home with them, and they're like, "Hey, I don't know if I'm doing both." I don't know, man. That's a.
You give it an hour, you'll be good.
I guess I don't know.
And if you're young, like Nick, you're young, and it probably only takes you like 10 minutes, like you're back in the saddle.
No, man. It's like I got video games to play.
All right,
I did hear. I'm sorry to interrupt this question, but I heard a story about lesbian women that have kids, and if they do, they could take their bone marrow and put it into the egg to kind of get the other woman's DNA into the baby, and I don't know. I guess they're sort of doing shit like that. But then somebody asked the question, what if the lady that's having the baby puts her own bone DNA into the baby, and it's basically super inbreeding? Weird science stuff.
It's a clone, isn't it?
It's not. It's worse than a clone because it's got
worse.
It's got like your DNA blocking out your DNA, so it's gonna be like a super inbred clone.
That's how the zombie apocalypse starts.
Could be
that right there.
Maybe that's a dandelion wine thread for your next story.
Oh Lord,
or something. A caller, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I got.
Did I even answer the first one?
I don't know. Did you?
What one I asked in chat earlier? Where? So we have. It feels like we have discovered so much about the world. So there's so many answers. Where do you think lies still the most mystery?
Ooh. Well, I for one think that we don't really have a terribly good grasp of how the universe really works. I think we've kind of been put into a box by popular culture.
Popular science,
totally agree.
Yeah.
Pop sci.
So they tell us that we have all the information, and now we're just filling in the details, people. Like all the big questions are answered. But I feel quite the opposite. I feel like there's a lot of unknown things. I like to think, I think the Earth is hollow. I believe in aliens and Bigfoot and pretty much anything that's wild.
How about Nessie?
I'm all for it.
What? Okay, hold on. New question. I said that was the last question. New question. What is Bigfoot? Is he a ghost? Is he an ATV for aliens? What is he?
Oh, I've never met him. No, I'm gonna go back to your old question. Just like inspiration is everywhere. Like I pick it up from other books. I pick it up from movies. I pick it up from people. It's just it's just floating in the air as far as I can tell.
Anything you like, you take to see. Well, this is, Andrew, you're answering your
Don't
own
take it.
question. You were before you were
It's-
questioning where do these like movies and the movie companies are putting. Where does the zeitgeist come from? It's the things that people do like. There's a thread. You said thread. I need more beer.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the zeitgeist is that some of it is pushed with an agenda. It is very much like there's a political agenda behind it, and there's big money behind it, and then there's these groups that people want to ingratiate themselves. And so
Does your writing have
I think
an
that's
agenda?
where
Do you push your own agenda in your writing?
yes,
It's,
yes. I think
What is
everybody
your
pushes
agenda?
their own agenda in their.
Did
in
you ever
whatever they
try
do.
to not push your own agenda in a writing? Like, did you ever try to make a story that was not what you believe? Can you? Do you think you could do that? That's a.
I think ugh, God.
And imagine if you wrote that.
No.
Like, imagine you wrote a book that pushes an agenda that you don't believe in, and that's the one that like is like extremely popular. Would that piss you off? Like, fuck.
It makes me feel dirty to contemplate. I am working with some other writers, and there are disagreements about like how things should be done, but it's not my story, and so
Are you in a writer's room or something?
not at the moment.
It sounds like you have been. That's gotta
No, not really. These are just some friends that like my writing, and so then they asked me if I would help them polish up one of their works.
be. Okay.
And so I've been doing that, and it's been a lot of fun because it's taught me a lot about the writing process in itself. And I actually think it's a really interesting story. I think they're doing a lot of really interesting and creative things with it. But there are certain elements to it that I'm like, oh, I would do it this way. And I like it like if it would be like this. But
it's
at the
not
same
your
time,
story.
it's their story.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like it's. I'm not writing a story that I'm like, ugh, gross. This is terrible, and I can't stand these people, and I can't stand the things they do. It's very intriguing, and it's got like some really interesting stuff. I'm actually really drawn to it. So it's just minor quibbles, and then it's their story. So yeah, so it gets to be their way.
Do you think you could summarize what is like your fundamental story in a like the grand sweeping arcs? Do you think like you're drilling down with all your books, approximating some central story?
No, like a general kind of a hero's journey kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I would think of it the other way, more as like the hero's journey is like the trunk of a tree, and then what I'm doing is I'm a little squirrel and I'm crawling out on the branches at the very far ends and exploring all the blossoms and whatnot. So I'm like, what I'm trying to do is I'm taking all these characters and I'm exploring who they are and trying to like flesh them out and make them into fully human characters with all their foibles and, you know.
Building off what Nick asked earlier, did you ever find yourself needing to write something that you didn't agree with, something that you didn't like, that there's no way that you've sort of written yourself into a corner, there's no way the character would do anything else?
Actually, interestingly, there have been a couple of times when I've tried to force a character to do a thing, and I feel like I've wisely backed off and let them do what they wanted, let them be the character that they want to be, and I've found another solution for... Because you'll find yourself trying to, like, needing a story to go a certain way, and so then you'll think you need a character to do a certain thing in order to drive that story that way. But then as you're like trying to write it and trying to make it work, you know that character is not going to do that thing because it's against his character. You know that it's just not something he's going to do. But you try to force him because you need him to go that way. And then he just refuses, or you force his hand. And if he refuses, then okay, so then that character can't be the catalyst for that. So he wants something else. He wants to go the other way. So then, all right, so I need something what are the other characters doing? Who else could possibly push the story that way? What kind of, and you can find something else. Sometimes you have to swipe the story and just kind of bring in another element altogether, a whole fresh new thing, which is not the best solution, but it'll drive that story into the proper direction without you having to bend and break your characters.
It's the Spanish
And
Inquisition.
Yeah. And usually you'll come up with a more elegant answer, something that works even better for the story. And because you honor that character, then their arc is actually so much better.
Huh. Well, did that answer your question, caller?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then there we go.
This is a long-winded answer. This guy talks a lot. Who'd you bring on?
No, I don't know who that caller was. I keep all my callers anonymous.
No, I mean me.
Oh, you're M. Andrew Jones, I think. That's what you've told me.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just trying to get a plug.
Oh, there you go, mandrewjones.com. And if anybody else would like to call in, the phone line is open, 917-719-5923. We are talking with M. Andrew Jones. It is a Thursday morning for me. Is it 11:30 where you are right now?
10:30.
You live in the past, or the future past?
The past. Wait. Yeah, because you're, what, 12:30?
Yeah, it's 12:30 over here. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, freaking hell.
Do,
You're already on to the next day.
I am. I'm in the future. Okay, I'm the future guy. There we go.
Yeah. I'm mucking about in the past.
Do you ever feel like you're like a god when you're writing these stories? Like you're looking
Oh, yeah.
over the planet.
Life and death is in my hands. I get to do what I want.
You're popping in.
Yeah.
Do you do write like a very adventurous stories? Do you feel do you have you killed any of your characters?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I kill characters all the time.
Does it hurt you when you
Let's
kill
see.
them off?
I mean, yeah, it's painful. I never want to, I do some mean things to people in my books, but I know that I made them up, so there's that. But you also need, you need drama in order for there to be, there's got to be a whole bunch of terrible shit that happens in order for it to, end up in a good, happy place. I mean, that's assuming you're writing a comedy.
It's got to be stakes.
And yeah, and I consider most of my books comedies because, they tend to be light at the end and happy.
They do. They definitely do. And also, I wrote a blurb for one of your books here. The End
Yeah,
of
you
Marvelous.
did. That's fantastic.
Instant bestseller.
I didn't know you knew
everybody.
French.
The paper was the highest quality and made for a wonderful nesting material. Initially, I felt the inky bits were overdone, but now I feel they add a certain little je ne sais pas to the pen. I guess I don't really speak French all the time. I was probably drunk when I...
Je ne sais pas.
You want to have a threesome right now?
Yeah, it means I know not what.
Yeah.
Adds a little certain I know not what.
Do you know what RSVP stands for?
Resu s'il vous plaît?
Are you French? Mr. Andrew?
I have a little bit of Huguenot blood, but not really.
Huguenot? Is
Yeah.
that like something about like the Jason and the Huguenots?
The Argonauts, the Huguenots were a fringe Christian group that moved back and forth between German and French territory, and I don't really know a whole lot about them. but apparently they weren't terribly liked, and a lot of them came to America.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, damn those
I got
Huguenots.
some of their blood.
I mean, are there any Huguenots anymore? Like other than you?
I mean,
You got their blood.
I wouldn't
You're not
consider
really.
myself a Huguenot. I just, yeah.
You should put that on a business card. I'm Andrew Jones, Huguenot.
Huguenot. Maybe it might be a thing. We'll bring it back up. We are the Huguenots, and we are related to the Luddites. We're breaking your machines.
Did you ever read who that guy that did that there Willy Wonka?
Oh, I should know this.
I should know this too.
No. No.
James and the Giant
Willy
Peach.
Wonka. Oh yeah,
Roald Dahl.
Dahl. Is it
There we
Roald
go.
Dahl?
You ever read Roald Dahl?
I think I read James and the Giant Peach.
The most striking thing about Roald Dahl was his name, I think.
Yeah, I remember being like, I don't remember how that book ended. I feel like the ending just kind of just like, what happened?
I don't know.
So
There was this something happened.
James and the Giant Peach. I haven't thought about that book in a hot minute.
Whew. Yeah.
I really like Peaches. I was all for that book.
I know that you got into writing because of Orson Scott Card, the Ender's Game stuff. But did you ever read like what was your like? Did you have other stuff that you liked to read as a kid?
Oh yeah, I was all into fantasy and sci-fi. Let's see. There's a lot of Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss that I read. So like the Dragonlance series, and then they did this
Wait a
Death
second. Did
Cycle
you ever play?
series also.
Did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons?
I played a couple of their computer games, but I never played any of like the tabletop. Yeah, well, that's not true. I played a couple of times at like some game shop, but they were pretty lame.
Andrew, can we just take a quick music break?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I like music.
I wanna make this thing go
It's a hot song.
Hi. Oh man, I might have had that way too loud. My levels are all off right now. Man, that mean old technology. Anyway. Doo-doo bop, ski bop.
Yeah, I'm afraid to touch my keyboard. It picks up every little doop 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 doo. I'm just opening up a website. Tippity tap tap.
What's your browsing history? No, I'm joking.
It's
All right.
embarrassingly a lot of. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I have
Next question.
a very good one for you. Have you ever had a paranormal experience?
Yes. Short answer. Do you want the long answer?
Yeah. That's what we're here for. This is a podcast. We can do whatever we want here.
Well, how paranormal do you want me to get?
Jeez, it sounds like you had multiple experiences.
Yeah, I've had a couple. They're few and far between. There was a time when I was having nightmares about gray aliens. I don't know how paranormal this is.
Well, if they're
But,
nightmares,
I think.
that's just dreams. That's not really that paranormal. Dreams are real.
Is it just dreams?
I think. Oh, but have you ever had did you wake up with like markings or implants or something?
No, nothing physical. I have had some straight paranormal experiences. I remember one time I was going through a bit of a midlife crisis, and I was at my brother's. Okay, so my sister-in-law's family. I've known them since high school. Like, I went to high school. My brother married his high school sweetheart, so I knew his girlfriend back in high school, and I knew her whole family. And our family and their family were pretty close, and so we all know each other. Anyway, one time I was over at their house, suffering a bit of a crisis, and we're drinking, and they're smoking weed, and the mother started giving me a hard time about how I was back in the day, and I was just like, I don't want to be here for this. This sucks, and it's just terrible. And while I'm sitting there, and there's a whole table on this patio, probably like 6 or 7 of us all sitting around, and there's a couple others that keep coming in and out, and I don't know, there's probably a dozen of us all there. And I'm just feeling terrible. I don't even want to be there. And all of a sudden, this thing touched me on my forehead and was like this big, beautiful, bright person, dark hair, long hair, beautiful, talking to me like telepathically and showing me like old memories of when I was a child and all kinds of crazy stuff. And this just stuff is just burning through my head, like years and years of experiences. Just, I'm getting it all like super quick. And yeah, so then I start like dancing and moving and doing these weird hand gestures, and the whole table thought I was just losing it. And I was actually, I had my eyes closed, and I could see it through my third eye floating up above the table, and nobody else was reacting to it, so I know they weren't seeing it. And I had my eyes closed, and yet I could still see everybody else at the table.
Huh.
And so I got my eyes closed, and I'm like reacting to all of them and talking to all of them and talking to this thing at the same time. And it was there for, I don't know, maybe an hour. And when all was said and done, like, it'd been a long night and a fair amount of drinks and a fair amount of weed, and I was stone sober and wide awake.
And you were,
And it was just,
and you were third person in it. You were floating above yourself, looking down.
no, I wasn't floating. I was sitting at the table.
Oh man.
This was something else. It never did introduce itself. Yeah. So that.
And then you have dreams about aliens probing you.
They weren't probing me. They were coming into my house and they were really freaking me out. And
But not into your butt.
they kept
just
getting
your
closer
house.
and closer.
Okay.
Huh?
Not your butt, your house.
Yeah, they'd come into my house and they were freaking me out. And I had one last dream of them. So I was walking down the sidewalk and these two like smoking hot ladies come walking up the other way. They were just walking down the sidewalk the other way. And they stopped me and they started talking to me and I was like, wow, it's my lucky day. And they had an agenda. They kept trying to get me to lie and do like terrible things. They're like, hey, well, you should sucker punch this guy walking by. Let's go rob this place, and let's cheat some dude. We'll like come up with some kind of a scam, kind of a thing. And I was getting really annoyed by it, and then, like, finally I got so upset with them that I actually like cocked back and swung at the blonde. And yeah, and so I clocked her with a haymaker on the side of the face, and her head bobs, whoop, whoop, and then it comes back up, and she's got a big Gravian head instead of her pretty blonde face. And I was like, oh shit. Oh no. I was like, I'm in trouble now. And they couldn't do anything to me because I wouldn't join them in their shenanigans, and so then they just scolded me and then got in a sports car and drove off.
They might have been Scientologists.
Maybe.
It's
But I've never had any nightmares about them ever since.
huh.
So
There you go. Always, I guess, punch the tall blonde. Don't go.
yeah. The tall lion blonde.
They're the ones in charge. Going back to your books really quick. The covers, the cover art. Who does your cover art?
So two of them are done by Mark Gonier, friend of No Agenda. So he did The Story of Number, and he also did Children of the Broken Moon. And he's doing my next cover. One of them, The End of Marvelous, was done by... He has a third agenda name too, but his normal name is Gary Barnes. And he's a No Agenda dude too.
Huh.
And then Metal was done by Coco Lucero, who is also my editor and close friend.
You have a close friend named Coco?
Yeah.
You ever see that Disney
It's a
movie?
nickname. Oh, no. Is it any good?
It's pretty. I've seen it a bajillion times. It's it's good. But yeah, the art. Your books are very well made. I couldn't see any errors at all, like in font or words or the cover is beautiful too.
Well, thank you very much.
These things are.
Yeah, they do good work for me. And I try to like polish them up heavily. Quality product for my adoring fans.
How do you feel when your book comes out? Like, are you like, oh, thank God it's just finally done, or do you feel like, yes, it's out? Like what is your inner state when you hit like that release button?
Yeah, when I first get the first copy back, like that first proof is always just such a relief. Like, this is the thing.
Feels
Okay, I did this.
You get that box, you open it, like, yeah, I've got another.
The first time when I first got back like my 50 first copies of The End of Marvelous, when I published it the first time, I had an insight that these books were going to live on my bookshelf for who knows how many months. Because, I got so many friends and family that are going to buy them, but like half of them are going to sit there until when? Like, who's going to buy them now? And so... But now I'm totally at peace with that, and I probably have like, I don't know, 150 copies of my own books floating around in my house. So,
Right.
And then I just sell them to friends and neighbors and people I meet on the street, and you'd be surprised.
The really funny thing is since Mandrew is not really your name, you could like meet somebody and bring him over to your house and be like, I really like this guy named Andrew Jones.
Yeah, I got like 80 copies of Metal. It's a really good book.
He must be like, wow, he's a real big, he's a super fan of this Andrew Jones guy.
He's autographed a bunch of them. Signed them to me. It's pretty badass.
I got an autographed, man. Thank you so much for
Did you? He sent you and I thought I was the only one that had autographed copies in this.
Well,
bastard.
I only have 60 of his books on the bookshelf over there. So you're still winning.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. So you're the one. You're the guy that's buying 60 copies of my book at once. The other guy.
You haven't been taking my request for. I wanted a book covered in your blood and your underwear with some pubes after you manscaped, but you haven't sent me that yet.
Well, it might happen.
All right.
So Christmas is not too far away.
We have some more questions that we have to ask you. Do you want to take one of these big juicy questions now, or do you want to hear a song?
Oh, let's do a question and then the song.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
The question is,
I want to get away from that alien crap.
well, this is a question that I'm going to start to throw into all my interviews, because sometimes you interview somebody and then they might die mysteriously after. Sadly. Not saying that you're going to die anytime soon. You sound like
Oh, so is that what your rats are giving me over here? Good lord. These little bastards.
but
I
like,
said I'm doing the show. Leave me alone.
But like, some people go to, like, they get arrested and they're in jail, and then they get killed in jail, and they might have last words that they were never to get. They weren't able to get out. But see, my new question is, if they were going to kill you, A, who would they be, and B, what would your message to the planet be after they killed you?
Oh, who would they be?
Yeah, who would want M. Andrew Jones dead?
I think I'm going to answer the second part first, and then we'll come back to who would be. My message to the planet would be that you matter, and God loves you, and seek art and beauty and goodness and the truth, and yeah, be the best person you can be. That's what God wants from you. He wants you to be pleased and be pleasing.
And I'm going to answer the first part for you.
Who would kill me?
They, it's going to be the devil.
The devil.
Well,
No, I don't think the devil wants me.
do you believe there is a devil? It sounds like you believe there is a God.
Well, I mean, I think we are. I think we are actually the incarnation of the God and the devil. All in, like, that's what we are. We're this balancing act between the two of them.
Do you think they're demons?
So,
Do you believe demons are real?
like literal demons, or people that act out their demon nature?
Aren't they almost the same thing? Wouldn't a
Maybe.
person's demonic behavior be caused by a demon, be it words or a real entity?
I would say that there are demons, because I mean, I believe in angels, so I would believe on the other side, like, there would be beings more powerful than us that are of a dark nature. Yeah, that totally jives.
I think so too, but I don't think like there's like wars between the angels and the demons. Well, actually there might be, but I think the way they fight is via humans. Like a demon can't punch an angel, so they try to fuck up a human, and the angel tries to they can't hit the demon, so they try to help the human. So it's like a constant battle, and their battlefield is you.
I like that.
That's pretty cool. I like that too.
Yeah. So who would they be? It'd be somebody that hates literature. Somebody that no sense of humor.
I hate books.
Doesn't like books.
This guy wrote 400,000 words.
I don't know any words. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Probably somebody suffering. I'd imagine somebody in bad shape.
Well, I hope these suffering creatures do not get to you.
Well, something's gonna get me.
Something will get
Something's
everybody.
gonna get all of us.
If you could live for... Wait, let's listen to a song before I ask you this next question. Obsidian
Let's do
Dreams
it.
by 23 Odd
Music.
Cats. Welcome back, everybody. We have M. Andrew Jones at mandrewjones.com. You can get all of his books for PDF free, right? Are your books PDF free?
There's no PDFs, but you can read them on the internet.
Oh, well, that's
So
PDF.
you just go to my site and yeah. Is that PDF?
Well, well, in my opinion, if you're reading something on a computer, it's not. I know it's not. Okay, words on a computer. A digital
you can always
copy.
just Control A, and then copy them into whatever program you use and print them up. And as long as you say it's written by me, then do whatever you want.
And you also you follow the value for value model, which is just like donate to you. Like if somebody supports you, they should support you, right?
Yes, and if it's valuable to you, then support it. I would write more, but I gotta pay rent, and the writing just doesn't do it yet.
Oh no.
One day.
Should I dare bring up real world jobs? That's up to you. I don't know.
I mean, I'm a bartender, is what I am.
You're a bartender?
I've been working in restaurants for 20 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you want me to mix you up a Cosmo?
Can you mix me up another Unbex in a can? Hold on. Let me. I have another beer here.
And here you go, sir.
What's your most favorite drink to make? Is there like a drink that you like to make?
Yeah, I just plain margarita. Fantastic. For me to drink personally, I just like a whiskey neat or whatever fine alcohol you have.
What's your favorite whiskey? I think mine is Maker's Mark.
Probably readily available and fairly cheap and all over the country would be Michter's Rye.
Michter's Rye.
Yeah, they do a good job. We got a company 291 distillery that I really like.
I've never heard of these before,
There's a bunch of
and I
others.
like my booze, but I'm not much of a connoisseur. I guess I'm just a sewer rat.
I hear ya. I mean, I've had my day of drinking the Kentucky's finest.
Oh yeah, I know
is-
that one.
Yeah.
Wild Turkey. No.
Oh no, it's actually called Kentucky's Finest Bourbon.
I think I've heard that one too. Yeah. What? Wild Turkey. Either way,
We call it KFB around here.
Gifba. Do you ever get ideas for writing while you're working, like through people you meet? Like, do you think you would
Yes.
lose? Do you think you would lose inspiration if you weren't doing what you were doing?
No, not in the
all over.
long. I mean, but people inspire certain things, and I get certain things off of my customers and whatnot, and especially like the new zombie book that I'm writing on is half restaurant drama,
Ah,
so a lot of that's inspired by my work amongst the general public. But overall, I feel like no, I would just write in a different direction. So something's gonna come along and inspire me. I won't say that my customers have actually inspired me quite a bit, and I love them all very much. Well, I love many of them very much.
have you ever read a book about a rich guy that is just surrounded by people that he pays to do stuff for him?
Yeah, I Will Fear No Evil by Robert Heinlein.
Huh.
It's about a rich. Oh, it's about a rich guy that dies, and shortly before, well, he doesn't die. Okay, so wait, his secretary dies, and he's dying, and so then he has his brain downloaded into his super hot secretary's body, and then he's going around as like this super hot chick that has just an insane amount of money.
Huh.
And it's pretty interesting. Heinlein's a hedonist. Like, if you want to explore sexual ethics, read some Robert Heinlein.
Really? Okay. I don't think I've ever read sexual ethics books before. Stranger in a Strange Land. That sounds familiar.
Yeah,
That's Robert.
yeah. That's Stranger in a Strange Land is probably one of his most famous. It's excellent. That's where grok comes from. Do you grok it?
Oh, yeah, I know Grok. I grok.
You grok it? Oh, you do
is-
grok it.
Is there a movie? Is there any movies based off his books?
Starship Troopers, but apparently I've never actually read it. Apparently they modified it quite a bit. The director, I can't remember his name, he apparently did not like the book and kind of took the story and did his own thing with it, from what I understand. All I know is that the movie is fucking amazing. I absolutely adore Starship Troopers.
And you should.
But I also really like Robert Heinlein. So
This is really bizarre.
yeah, it's a crazy movie.
No, I mean, like, this is I should have known. I've been playing a shitload of Starship Troopers video games. And I've
They have
looked
video
at his name before, and I should have known that he wrote Starship Troopers. And yeah, it's a great. I got to read the book. Actually, I want to read the book. The movie was amazing.
Yeah, I should read that book. I have a bunch of his books, but I don't have that one.
That's that's so weird that he's written other books, and he was into sex, I guess.
Oh yeah.
There was that naked
Yeah.
scene in the movie, but I thought that was just because the director was a pervert.
It might be some. Well, and he's a European, so they got different ideas about all that. They tend to be a little looser with their clothing.
It's strange too. Life, how it's run by children. Like, your life is an amalgamation of what the government thinks a child should be able to see, or something.
You think so?
Well, yeah, it is. You can't go outside and see something that a child can't see. An advertisement has to be child safe. And what that means is, what does the government think it is?
Yeah, well, how much do you go in for the whole infantilization of the American public, and them trying to be like parental figures to us?
I think that was like in the 70s. I think we're way past that now. I think we're already the infants are now the parents doing the infant thing. So it's like the inbreeding times 10. I think the infantilization of the American populace is like at the power of the 4 or 5 right now.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd actually say maybe 10, 15 years ago, when like Disney was at its top, everybody was raging, buying poo hoodies and whatnot. Fucking Mickey Mouse ears. On grown people. You're 40. Come on. Wear a baseball cap like the rest of us.
With ITM on it. Disney is just a money generator, and they're good at what they do. Do you think people have? Oh fuck! No, I don't want to ask this question. I was told that it's not real. Free will and fate. What is your opinion on that? Do you have an opinion on?
Oh yeah. Both. I take both. So some things are fated. There's a certain amount of our life that's fated to happen. Like, we're fated to go in a certain direction. But then there's also the free will of how much are we going to agree with our path? How much are we going to go down our path? How far down our path are we going to go? Yeah.
Oh, man. Life is fucking amazing. Some people could really change reality around them, and some people are changed by the reality around them. Most people are changed by the reality around them.
Yeah, I'd agree with those. I'd agree with both statements. I would say most people are both. Most people change their environment and are changed by their environment. I think a lot of these big questions tend to be 50-50-ish. So, like, it's a mix. Like, the whole words, is it nurture or nature, that whole, when you're raising a child, is it nurture or nature? Well, it's both.
It is.
They both play a part.
We have to take a quick music break. This is Dracula by Goki DNB. I'm sorry. We'll be right back.
He's not sorry, and neither am I.
Dracula. I am Dracula. I'm Dracula. I am Dracula. I am Dracula. I'm Dracula.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man,
Vamples.
Vamp. Do you like horror movies?
Werepires.
Are you into scary stuff, spooky? Are you a spooky dude?
It's not my go-to, but some of it's pretty good. Like Aliens, fantastic.
Do you like Alien or Aliens more? If you had to sit down to watch a movie, which one would it be? One or two?
I would go with Aliens. Aliens moves faster. You don't have to think as much, and it's very pretty. Alien is like suspenseful.
The Alien
It takes a lot of attention.
How about Terminator or Terminator 2?
Again, Terminator 2, easier to digest. Terminator 1 is fantastic, though. I mean, can't take anything away from it.
How about Predator 1 or Predator 2?
Predator 1.
Okay. Predator 2 is not
Predator 2 is
bad.
watchable, though.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
So what is your go-to genre? Is sci-fi?
Yeah, I'd say sci-fi or fantasy.
Sci-fi or fantasy? Okay. I got a lame fantasy question for you.
I got a lame fantasy answer.
Did you watch the show? I don't even Game of Thrones. Did you like the show? Did you watch or like the TV show Game of Thrones?
I did some of it. Initially, like the first few seasons, I thought were really good.
Okay.
I thought he did some really interesting things. I got really bored when he just started, when it was just, they just parade naked women and have pseudo-philosophical conversations and try to distract you with these naked ladies from how bad the dialogue was. And that got really irritating. But it was still, like, they did some interesting things. The ending was pretty rushed and not well thought out. And Jon Snow is dumber than a brick. He was like one of the dumbest people in the whole show.
And he was one of the most popular characters too. It's
yeah, of course.
Similar to Walking Dead, I did not like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones I thought was better than Walking Dead by at least 4 or 5, 10%.
I got much further in Game of Thrones than I did. I saw the first several seasons, and then I saw the last 2 or 3 seasons. I missed 1 or 2 in the middle.
What is your? Do you have a favorite fantasy? A visual video thing, not a book, because or a book too. What's your favorite? What's your favorite fantasy book and favorite fantasy viewing experience?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
And is it the same thing? Is it Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings?
Well, Lord of the Rings is hard to beat.
It is. It's pretty much. It is like the fantasy genre right there. Is Lord of the Rings.
It is. There's so much that pretty much copy pastes Lord of the Rings. It's actually pretty terrible.
It's pretty amazing what he created. It's almost like a religion.
Well, and some of it, like Sword of Shannara, is really good. But it is just a copy-paste of Lord of the Rings.
Huh.
And, well, okay, I don't know if this is widely recognized, but The Hobbit is actually a retelling of Beowulf. So, there's that.
I could see that, yeah. But well, everything kind of builds off of something else. You hear something, you pass it on, you think about it, you change it.
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun.
But there is. There's always something. It might be little, it might turn out to be big, and it'll change reality. Wow.
Well, I think, like modifying the old stories is not a bad thing. We're updating them for modern times, and that's how we grow.
What's the last new genre of entertainment? Like there's a whole bunch of different genres. Actually, that's a pretty dumb question, I guess.
Well, I got one. There's this acid western that came out.
An acid western?
It was probably a good 10, 15 years ago. Acid western. I have no idea who came up with this genre or what else is written in it, but there's this book called Ghosts of the Desert by Ryan Ireland. And that book is fucked up and excellent. It's just unbelievably good. And dark.
Cowboys on drugs.
It starts with a kidnapping and it just downward spiral. Like to the pits of hell. It's just unbelievable.
I'll have to check that out.
And so like poetic and beautiful at the same time. It's weird.
See, the weird thing is, this says it's this genre, acid western, came out in the 60s and the 70s, but I've never heard of it. So, to me, it's a 2020 thing.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Like,
yeah,
this is the first I'd ever heard of it. And probably the only thing I've ever read of its kind.
have you ever heard
But
of?
I mean, if it's all that good, I gotta go back and look. Go back and read the 60s stuff by Louis Lamar.
Yeah, just steal it. Just redo what they did and make it for today. Why not?
No, I can't bite Ryan Ireland's style. Plus, like, I tend...
Do you think you steal people's
it's just not
styles?
me.
Do you want to take styles? Do you read like Stephen King and be like, I wish I could write more like that? Or it's just, I wish I could.
Well, the end of
compare
Marvelous, I very much... I was reading a lot of, like, Tom Wolfe and Kurt Vonnegut and...
I love
what was
Vonnegut.
that? Kennedy O'Toole. So I was reading a lot of, like, absurdist contemporary stuff. And I definitely feel like I was taking on some of their voice. And, like, I wouldn't say I was stealing it, but I was definitely trying to write in that style.
It was in your Zeitgeist. It was in your thread.
Yeah, definitely. I actually think it's something that artists should do. Like, you have your favorites, so you should not mimic.
You should
but
copy.
You should
I
try
think
to
you should
apply.
copy. You should copy. I'm gonna say it. You should just fucking copy people you like, and copy it
I
until
would call it homage. Like, try to use their style. Like, try to develop in their style, which will only help your style in the long
Yeah.
run.
Because if you like it, it's something that you think is good, and like you think that other like if you think it's good, then you should fucking steal the shit out of it. You should. That's culture.
Borrow. You should borrow the shit out of it.
Get out
Yeah,
of
it's
here,
culture.
borrow.
Culture's a soup,
Okay, you should give back.
and
You
we're
should.
swimming in it.
You should. Well,
there's
you
no
bought the
avoiding
book. You bought the book of the writers that you like that you steal from. So you're giving them, and they're giving you. Hey,
Yeah, I didn't steal it. I paid for this.
exactly.
What are you talking about?
What's your opinion on Hunter S. Thompson? Do you have an opinion on him?
Not really. I haven't read pretty much anything of his.
I like his writing.
He never. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something about just people doing weird things in weird situations kind of gets to me. But ultimately,
All right. He's very popular.
yeah,
He's got an audience for sure.
he do. Here's the ultimate question for you though. Are you ready?
Dun dun dun. Yeah, let's do this.
This is the one I've been wanting to ask you since we started talking, but
Okay, wait. Blue. No, green.
my answer is always purple.
Purple.
I don't, but yeah, I do.
Chartreuse is what I should say. It's a nice, safe middle ground between. All right, go. Fire.
Do you like-
the
do you like-
airspeed velocity of an African sparrow is half that of a European swallow.
First, I'm gonna
Bird.
ask the chat room first. This is a testament of to see if the chat room knows anything about Nick the Rat Radio. Chat room, what am I about to ask? M. Andrew Jones. Let's see if anybody in the chat room here knows. Definitely plus up, Marchetta. We're all Zay in the chat. All right. Maybe the chat room's not as active as I thought. Okay. What's your do you like Star Trek?
Yeah.
Are you,
It's like the clean antiseptic version of Star Wars.
do you like Star Trek more than Star Wars?
No.
Really, you like
'Cause
Star Wars
is
more
like
than
the-
Star Trek?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd put the best of Star Wars against the best of Star Trek any day.
Really?
But they're both good. Like, Star Trek Next Generation, First Contact is freaking awesome. That's such a good movie.
Have you? Wow. So okay. You are. Yeah. You like fantasy, and Star Wars is much more fantasy than Star Trek is. even though Star Trek is still fantasy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Star Trek tends to bring up a lot more cultural questions, and Star Wars actually has like your weird pseudo-religious Jedi thing going on, kind of a quasi-spiritualism.
Do you still like Star Wars? And what is your favorite Star Wars today? Is your favorite Star Wars like part 2 and 3, or I mean 5 and 7? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I would go one. Okay, no, Star Wars. I would go Star Wars: A New Hope, then Return of the Jedi. I'm sorry, then Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi. I just do them right in order.
All right.
You know, like the whole Star Wars argument. Disney killed Star Wars. No, Lucas killed Star Wars first with the prequels.
Yeah. He was trying to build on Star Wars. Disney is.
I don't blame him.
Have you watched any recent Star Wars? Like, I've seen a lot of it. I haven't seen a lot. I'm not a huge. I've seen everything of Star Trek. I'm more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan, but.
I've seen all the movies. I actually appreciate Rogue One. I think Rogue One is a decent effort.
Rogue One was pretty cool. They did.
I saw a couple episodes.
They had that whole, well, the part with Vader was pretty fucking cool though, but yeah, it was a good movie. It was pretty fun.
What parts with Vader?
In Rogue One, Vader comes out and just kills everybody.
Oh yeah, at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody dies in that movie. It was a good movie. It was a good. Star Wars has gotten very dark, and what was there was the one with like some Andor. Andor was really. Did you watch Andor?
I saw the first episode, and yeah, I didn't like the main character. I thought he was kind of douchey. I thought the story was kind of weak in general.
It seemed a lot darker than. It seemed like in the same similar vein as Rogue One to me. But hey, I didn't watch all of Andor either.
Yeah, Rogue One's kind of dark. I just thought it was the best, like, fully fleshed story out of them. I watched a couple episodes of Mandalorian and I think I saw an episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and they were just kind of lame.
So Star Trek is better. Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to hear.
Well, I haven't seen any new Star Trek either. I haven't really paid attention since Voyager was a thing.
Do you have a favorite series of Star Trek though, like Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, probably Next Generation and then Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Those are, yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of it. I haven't seen pretty much anything newer than Voyager, and I haven't seen anything older than Next Generation. I don't remember. I've seen a couple episodes of the original series, and that's about it.
Newest fantasy media that you have consumed, or sci-fi, or any. What's the last thing you've read or watched?
Well, I've been reading a lot of Robert Heinlein.
Really?
I've been reading, yeah.
This motherfucker keeps coming back into my brain. I gotta get more into the Heinlein line.
He's good stuff. My reading's been kind of all over the place lately. What else have I done lately? I've done, Anne Lamott's Bird by Bird, if you're interested in writing. It's a meta book about the craft of writing. It's fantastic. James Clavell's The Shogun guy. I read King Rat and Noble House. Those are both fantastic.
Shogun, is that a series on Netflix?
Yeah, and the series has been pretty strong.
I heard it's really good.
It's been enjoyable.
I have not seen it, but I've been recommended it. I should see it. I should watch it.
It's pretty entertaining. The Speaking of things to watch, I started watching 100 Beavers, and it is absolutely, it's freaking hilarious.
Do you know Red Letter Media at all?
No, is that theirs?
No, it's not, but I think it's adjacent to them. I know what 100 Beavers is. It's good. I gotta watch it then. Okay, I'll put them.
It's. I'm dying. I'm like 2/3 of the way through. I couldn't quite finish it.
It's probably a lot to take.
But
it's a silent film, right? Is it silent?
It's not silent because there's definitely like laughter and he goes oh, but there's no dialogue.
Yeah, that could be.
And it's brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant.
Right,
in like a dumb way. It's like Napoleon Dynamite or ish, where it's like something that's like really smart and really dumb at the same time. Like it's got a really dumb facade.
Well,
but then like
it's a guy running away from 100 beavers or something, right? Well, like guys dressed like beavers.
Well, they're spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear this, turn off your speakers. Turn down your speakers. So like the beavers are just normal people dressed up in furry outfits, and that's the way that all the animals are. So there's like dogs and beavers and skunks and wolves and rabbits. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
I wonder what the after party looked like for that. There was probably a lot of real furries there.
Just a massive cuddle puddle for like.
Are you a furrier, or do you dress up as a character?
No.
Do you celebrate Halloween?
Yeah, I do have a Star Trek shirt. I got a yellow engineer shirt.
Then what the fuck are you talking about Star Wars for, motherfucker?
Well, all right. So, what's a Star Wars costume? Am I gonna dress up like Jabba the Hutt?
Let's get a robe.
For freaking Star Trek, I put on a pair of black slacks, black shoes, that shirt. I'm done. If I want, I can paint my face orange or blue or half orange blue or.
If you paint your face green, I might come over to your house.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Oh.
Give me a little rumpy pumpy, a little happy in the sack.
Star Trek is a lot more sexier than Star Wars too.
Everybody loves a green-faced alien.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, I never actually thought about that. There was no action in.
There was incest.
Star Wars
there was. Well, there's Star Wars is like a action adventure movie. Like in Conan, was there sex? Like in pulp comics, is there much sex? There's like boobies, but there's not like.
I don't know. I never read any Conan.
I didn't really read Conan either. Yeah.
Well, the movies are pretty good. They got all the boobies, and then they got that one. What's her name? The girl guy, the black lady.
Red Sonja? No, you're talking about
She's in them. She always played like this warrior lady, and she was really skinny.
She was the model.
Really buff at the same time.
She was a model. Her name is chat room. Who was she?
And she's like the spokeslady for the androgynous. But she'd always talk about like grabbing people by their hair and just dragging them off.
I grabbed him and I
liked her.
Kissed him. Stuck a chicken up his asshole.
She was great.
Not Xena.
She looked not Xenia. She looked like David Bowie, the black version of David Bowie.
She was. Yeah. It's funny when you said androgynous. I was like, yeah, it's like David Bowie in my head, and I'll find out right now. Conan movie. I put Conan into Google, and Conan O'Brien comes up.
They should do a ginger version of Conan, starring Conan. Yar. I don't know. Was her name Yar?
No, it wasn't Yar.
Who says Yar? That's a thing.
Yar is
Yar.
Pirates say that, but pirates are fake. It's so weird how people Grace Jones.
That sounds right.
Grace Jones. He plays Zula, the Amazonian warrior in 1984.
That's her.
Conan the Destroyer. He had that cool flat top.
Yeah, that's the lady, man.
Where's Grace Jones these days? What does she look like today? Let's see. She's still kicking. She looks exactly the same fucking way she did back then. She's 75. She was born in 48.
Do they have like recent pictures of her?
Not really, maybe. I don't know. She always looks like a statue. Oh wait, here goes one. Oy. All right, this is a little creepy looking.
Well, I mean, you know, she's getting old.
Well, yeah, I know.
But I'm glad to hear she's still around. And she seems like a class act.
Yeah, she's probably cool. Was she in Thunderdome? Was she in Mad Max? Thunderdome?
I don't think so. That had Tina Turner in it.
Oh yeah, it was Tina Turner.
Wasn't it Tina Turner? I like it. Oh, so Fury Road is a fantastic product.
Oh my god. That's
That
probably
was highly entertaining.
that's the only movie in the past 20 years that I've went to the theater to see more than once.
I actually saw it a couple times in the theater too. Yeah, I did see that more than once in the theater.
That is seriously like the only movie I was like, I want to see that again in the theater right now. Did you see the new one coming out? I'm not.
Yeah, Furiosa.
Yeah.
I know. I wasn't really all that intrigued by the previews, but
It might be
I'll probably
good.
see it anyway.
Yeah, I'll watch it, but it doesn't look good. The previews does not make me want to see it.
Yeah. I'll give it a try just because.
I like the actress, even though looks like
Fury
a
Road is
hammerhead
so
shark and she's a little weird looking.
Oh yeah, well, isn't it that Anna Taylor Joy, whatever her name is?
Yeah,
Isn't it
she's a
Joy
really good
Taylor?
actress, but we'll see what happens.
With the really wide eyes.
And they gave that other guy
She was
that weird
great.
nose. They gave it's weird. It's like a fake version of the Fury Road. It's like strange. Is Miller involved? Is that his name? George
Yeah.
Miller? Is he involved in that at all?
Oh, I have no idea.
Let's see.
Let's see.
I'm gonna put George Miller. I'm not gonna even look for the new fucking thing. Let's put George Miller and see what he's associated.
It's 2.5. Yeah, director writer.
All right.
2.5 hours long.
Hey, maybe. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
You know, I feel like it's gonna be good because I gotta hold out hope. I'm holding out hope, George.
Hit me with it, George. Hit me with it. Do you like
What else have I seen or read that's been excellent?
Do you like Tarantino at all?
What have you seen or read that's? Oh yeah, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought that was great. Is it his best? I would argue that it might be his best.
I still
Kill
think,
Bill. I love Kill Bill.
I think Pulp Fiction is still his best. Maybe. Yeah. That's maybe. No, they're all good. I don't think he
Alright.
really had any bad movies.
Pulp Fiction set a high bar. I mean, even so, have you ever seen True Romance?
I love True Romance, yeah.
So he wrote it. It was directed by the other Scott brother, Tony Scott. So, but I mean that was a great movie.
It was?
Yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff. Some of it's hard to watch. Like, I'll never watch Reservoir Dogs again. But it was interesting to watch the first time.
I don't think I've ever watched it completely.
It's kind of brutal.
It is weird.
It's good though. It's well done.
It is. That is weird. I should maybe, you know what? I think I have to watch Reservoir Dogs like in complete. I don't think I've ever watched it from start to finish. Why don't you? Why wouldn't you watch
when
it
you're mad
again?
at the world?
What was the? The downfall of Reservoir Dogs.
Spoiler alert.
Well,
Turn down your speakers. Yeah, you can't spoil it 20 years later.
No.
They catch a cop and they torture him.
Yeah.
Chop his ears off and soak him in gasoline and.
So the torture scene makes it unwatchable for you, or a repeat?
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
They cut his ear off, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they do it to a song. He dances.
Yeah, he's dancing the whole time.
Well, yeah, but Kill Bill, they like killed tons of people. Is it because he's a cop?
Yeah, but Kill Bill does it to the point where it's like ridiculous. Like they chop off. She chops off Sophie's arm, and the blood is just like gushing out like a freaking fire hydrant. I mean, it's just spraying everywhere. So it takes it to like a comical extreme.
Do you remember the first thing? When I was growing up, I saw the movie Child's Play, and I was like, I don't want to see this. Like, it really disturbed me. Do you remember like the first thing that you seen that was like disturbing that you didn't want to watch? Like, this is too much for me.
Critters got me. It's terrible. Gremlins got me. Alien. The first time I saw Alien I was probably like 8, 7, 9. I don't know. I was somewhere.
You're down there, yeah.
Freaked me the fuck out. Yeah,
I could see Critters.
I'd go into the bathroom and I'd be like looking around the corners up by the ceiling, like expecting one of those fuckers to come jumping at me.
The part of Critters that stuck with me was when there was like a alien that was trying to kill them that could shapeshift, and he looked at a magazine with a centerfold on it, and he got a staple in his belly because he was mimicking her. Like the centerfold of the magazine had a staple in the belly, and he mimicked her. For some reason, that stuck in my head. Maybe because there was boobies, but.
I like that.
Yeah, Critters.
I like the idea that he just like, oh, that's just part of their body.
A piece of metal. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Perfume by Suskind? You guys want another creepy read?
Perfume by Suskind.
Yeah, what's his first name? Perfume. Oops.
Is he German?
Oh,
Patrick Suskind?
That sounds right.
Because I put
that's a
Suskind
creepy
into
book.
search, and that was the only thing that came up.
Yeah, that's a disturbing novel, but really well done.
The story of a murderer.
You know, it's one of my favorite books. The
What is
Princess Bride.
That was an actual book?
Yeah.
All right, in the
But
book.
it's not an easy read.
In the book, though, is there like a grandfather that comes and reads a book to his sick grandson?
Yes, but not just so. Okay, so what the movie did is it really streamlined the story of Wesley and Buttercup.
Yeah.
So you get Wesley, Buttercup, what's Fezzik? I forget the other guy's name. Anyway, so you have the fantastic story, and it's framed by this sick boy and his grandpa reading it to him, and you don't really get much of their story at all. They're just at the beginning, at the end, interrupt a couple of times for comedic effect.
Played by
The book.
Matlock. Is it Matlock or is it the other guy?
Who that wrote it?
The actor is there's Kevin Arnold. Either way.
Oh yeah.
And the other guy is the guy with the fake eye. It's not. I don't know if it's Matlock. It might be the other old
There's Andre
detective.
the Giant in it.
Andre the Giant and Inconceivable and there's a lot of people.
It's inconceivable.
Go on. I want to hear more.
It's the Princess Bride. So the novel is actually a meta story where he's So he's this dad, and his grandpa, he got sick. His grandpa read him this story, and he loved it so much that when his son got sick, he decided that he was going to read that same story to his son. So he goes out, buys a copy of this book, and he goes to read it to his son to find out that this is not the story that his father read to him. His grandpa just picked out the best parts and told him just the good parts of the story. The book that he was reading is a freaking mess. It had all kinds of terrible political stuff from like clear back in the day that was just dumb. It didn't do anything. And so he was like totally frustrated because his son's mad at him and half hates him, and he's getting a divorce and his whole life is falling apart.
They don't put that in the movie.
Yeah, so the book is this excellent meta story of this guy who wants to take this book and abridge it and just like take out all the best parts of it and do like a really thin version. And instead of delivering that really thin version of Wesley and Buttercup and having just this really, pretty much what the movie is what he wants to write. Instead of doing that, he writes this completely convoluted novel of his whole life falling apart that's like really irritating and kind of boring and like really interesting at the same time because he's doing exactly what he hates about this other story.
What? Really?
And yeah, so it's this big, long, convoluted mess. It's just this great. It's so good. So, yeah, and see, my telling it is actually the same thing. It's a big, convoluted mess.
That's really fucking bizarre. I watched the movie recently, so it's like fresh in my mind. And like when you watch it recently, like you notice that there's a lot more political intrigue in it. Like the whole thing is based off of like, oh, we want to overthrow the government, and we're gonna do like a fucking false flag attack, and so that's all just like
yeah.
The book is about the father in a shitty.
Yeah, and his shitty relationship with his kid and his divorce and trying to adapt this book that's just driving him crazy and yeah.
Well, God bless the
pretty
director
genius.
of that movie because he really changed that shit around.
No, yeah, that version should never be made into a movie. What they did was perfect, and actually the screenwriter he wrote the book. William Goldman, he wrote the book and then he adapted it for the screen, and then Robert Reiner directed it, and yeah, they did an excellent job.
That's wild. I had no idea.
It's pretty wild. It's I mean, you go and you buy a copy of The Princess Bride and it's like 400 pages and it's like, how is it this thick? And
There's
it's
like two fights. He gets poisoned. He dies. He comes back to life. There's a resurrection event in that movie too.
Oh yeah.
Wesley, he dies and he comes back using suction cups. I think suction cups and electricity or something.
Yeah. No, they bring him back to life with the little pill, the little chocolate pill that Miracle Max makes him. But yeah, I mean, so like here's the full title of the book: The Princess Bride, S. Morgenstern's classic tale of true love and high adventure, abridged by William Goldman. What are we doing?
Is there enough room for a picture on the cover?
Barely.
It's a lot of words. Wow.
Yeah. It's something else.
You have expanded my mind tonight, M. Andrew Jones.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I could do that. This has been quite entertaining and fantastic.
I need to use the bathroom again. Would you like to stay on even later?
How long are we going?
Like another...
I mean, it's not even midnight here.
Well, I could probably hit your midnight. It's 15 minutes too?
Yeah.
All right, we could do this. You down for another song? You want to hang out till midnight?
Yeah, let's do this. We can do that.
All right, let's fucking do this. Let's do fucking.
Midnight it is.
We got Siki House with. I don't even know what the hell this says. Rinv. Let's listen to it.
Chuyện tình yêu anh họa sĩ gửi trong tranh vẽ những vui buồn lòng anh thầm yêu nàng ca sĩ có phải rất yêu bông hoa.
Hello, is there a caller on the call?
Are you guys still open, man?
Yeah, we're still open.
All right, I'll be right over.
If anybody wants to call in, or if they have any questions, you can call in. If I'm still open, call in. That was weird.
That guy didn't want to call. He wanted to come over for pizza bites.
I think he did. That was Tony Averici.
Who's that?
He has an arcade down here. All right, I have some more questions for you, Mr. M. Anderson.
I have more evasive answers that don't really answer the question.
That's what I want to hear. What scares you? What is your biggest fear in life?
Monotony. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
So
with
do
that.
you hate breakfast?
I tend to avoid breakfast. I've been doing intermittent fasting because I'm getting old.
No, it's because you hate monotony. You're trying to break it up.
I tend to do it every day though, so it kind of is monotonous. It is the new breakfast is no longer monotonous. That's the
fasting is the monotonous part. Maybe you'll break yourself into a different cycle.
I feel better though when I do it. So
Diet is very a difficult thing. It's my diet is mostly beer and weed.
beer and weed for breakfast.
Well, not for
you doing shower beers.
I love eggs. I do a lot. I probably do you ever have too-many-eggs.com? Do you like eggs?
Too-many-eggs.com. I have that book. I have a copy of it.
Too Many Eggs that's a great book.
Thick.
It's a big book.
It's a tome. You had good questions for her. That was an interesting interview.
She kept having those birds. She had a lot of birds in the background, and Curry now has them dogs going off. Do you have a pet? Do you have pets?
No, I don't have any pets.
Would you like a pet?
I can't keep rats, Nick. I don't know where.
Rats are actually really good. If you like dogs, rats are really cool, but they only live 2 years.
I feel like you chew up on my books, my magic, like my $50 magic card. I feel like that'd be the first thing you'd chew up.
I got a Black Lotus over here.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't have Black Lotus. I did play Magic when it first came out. I still have like a shitload of cards from like the first series. I might have some decently valued Magic cards, but that's not here nor there.
Some of those first ones. I sent a pangolin to John and Adam. They didn't appreciate it.
Really, a pangolin
This
Magic
thing ain't
card?
worth nothing. Yeah, there was some like armored pangolin, something like that.
And you sent it to their P.O. box?
Yeah, it was in the middle of all the Corona stuff. And John, he's like, well, I got a Magic card and it was worth like 20 cents.
Really?
He's not impressed, yeah.
Huh.
I'm like, it's a pangolin. What? Why aren't you excited? It's a pangolin.
Have you ever met John or Adam?
Yeah, I've met Adam
at a meetup.
So I met him, yeah, on the Hot Pockets tour, and then he did another tour.
Wait,
the next year,
where on the tour? On the Hot Pockets tour?
Colorado Springs.
Okay. I met him on when he went to Jersey on the Hot Pockets tour.
Oh, okay, and that's his old stomping ground, isn't it?
Yeah. He ate pizza with a fork and knife. I thought it was pretty weird.
Oh my god.
I was like,
that's those Europeans.
It's like, what are you doing, Mr. Dutchman? That's when he was still with Mickey. Mickey was there too.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I remember Mickey.
I think I said something rude to her. I was like, why did you give Adam Uggs?
And a fork at a pizza shop. What are you doing?
I'm happy that you agree with me, even though you're from not New York City. on that one. Anyway, have you never met
I'm a
John?
red-blooded American.
John is a lot bigger than I thought he would be. He's a tall dude. He's a big guy.
That's what I hear. Yeah, he's is he as tall as Adam? He's pretty close, isn't he?
He is. They are probably the tallest guys in podcasting. They should start to mention that on their show.
It's the tallest podcast in the universe.
I'm sure, actually, if there was, you should mention that.
Until the tall blondes start podcasting. Maybe Adam is a tall blonde. Do you ever think that maybe Adam is a tall blonde alien?
Adam is from the future. He's definitely not from this world.
That.
He's a strange guy. He's strange. Something up with him. I think we gotta keep our eyes on him.
He's a tall gray. He doesn't look very gray.
Wait.
They are shapeshifters, though.
We skipped the question about the pet. If you could have a pet, what pet would it be? If you could have any pet, it could be fucking anything, like a panda bear, gorilla.
Well, I'd like the whole 9 yards. I want a farm. So, cats, dogs, goats, cows, chickens, ducks.
Do you know what a familiar is?
Yeah.
If you had a familiar, what would it be?
Probably a turtle. Or maybe a snake.
Would it be teenage and mutant?
Yeah, it'd be one of your neighbors. Hanging out there with the ooze and Kang the brain. And...
A turtle or a snake? Huh.
Yeah. Or maybe a crab. A big old Dungeness, something crawling around on the bottom of the ocean.
You connect with aquatic creatures?
Well, some people would say, yeah, like dolphins and whales and sharks. I had a roommate, and his big thing was sharks.
Huh. Did he have a shark necklace, like with the fucking tooth on it?
I don't think he did, but he had like just various. Oh, he had posters and a sign, and then he had all kinds of shark paraphernalia.
That's okay. Did he like Jaws? Did he need a bigger boat?
I bought him that beach. The beach is closed by order of the Amityville police or whatever it is.
He probably.
I bought him the sign.
Did he hug you? High five you?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a hug for that.
That's hug worthy.
He's a handsome man. He was in the Navy.
He really let his Jaws fetish control his life. So,
he did.
Like, we're gonna need a really big boat with a lot of guys on there.
Yeah, with all the guys on it. Tons of guys.
Do you ever want to join the military or any sort of like services, travel the world?
My brother joined the Marines, and when he did that, I went down and I talked to the Navy recruiters. And I was talking to them, and they were telling me all these great things about how I was going to work on a nuclear sub, and I'd be running the nuclear... Well, not running the nuclear program, but running like the reactor and working on that, and good money. And then when I got out of there, I'd be able to make good money in the civilian world with it.
Do whatever you want.
And... yeah, so then when I went to sign the paperwork, there wasn't anything about that on there. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll just fill that in after you sign. And I was like, that's not how this works. And then I realized that, it'd be a whole life of this, where I'm like constantly checking the papers, making sure that they're actually doing what they say they're going to do and that kind of shit. And I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
So... anything to get you to sign, and then they put you wherever they want because, it's not in the paper that you're going to be in the nuclear program working on the reactors.
The people working on the reactors in the nuclear program are, they already selected those guys. I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I wasn't gonna be one of them.
Would
So
if
yeah, it's not my kind of life.
if there was a giant goose, like a 10-foot tall goose chasing you, and I gave you a sword, would you cut its head off for me?
I'd certainly try.
That's cool. Because did you know it's midnight in Colorado right now?
Oh, it is. It's now May the 2nd. Day 2.
Oh my! Are you gonna have a party in 2 more days on May the 4th?
May the 4th be with you. Yes, my niece my niece was born on May the 4th. And her name is Jaya. Princess Jaya.
Huh. I used to work with somebody that had a kid. They named their kid what's I forgot what he named his kid. I forgot the name of the it wasn't Luke. It was holy crud. It was I think he actually named his kid Jedi. No, it wasn't Jedi. He named his kid something in the Star Wars
It should have been
universe.
Bubba. Hey, fed me a glass of water. Fed me a beer.
Boba the Rat.
Boba. I like Nick better. Nick's a better rat name.
It's a pretty good rat name. It is not bad.
So I got another question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Redwall?
Redwall, Virginia?
No, it was just Redwall. Redwall Abbey. That's what it is.
Redwall Abbey. Is that like where girls go to have their first period?
No, they go to Whitewall and they turn it red. No, it's a series of books by Brian Jacques, and it's all anthropomorphized animals. So like rats and ferrets and, well, I hate to say it, but the rats are the bad guys.
That's fine.
Mice and squirrels.
There's a lot of us. And we
Yeah, stoats.
rule, you know. Any ruling class of
Servo
animal
males.
are going to be assholes. Yes. Like hyenas. Hyenas are assholes. And you might not think of hyenas highly, but the fact is they got a really strong jaw. They could fuck you up. Anything that could fuck you up is going to be hippos. Hippos could kill you really easily.
A hippo would fuck me up.
They're way up there.
I feel like I could take a hyena. I couldn't take a hippo. I don't think I'd stand a chance against it.
How would you fight a fucking hippo? Like, you would have to go left and right a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a hyena, like, all right, it's going to do some damage, but I got weight on it, and I'm going to grab a hold of it, and I'm going to twist that fucker's neck around.
It's going to get one bite on you. You still have your like, one hand.
Yeah, I
free.
got my other arm and both
Yeah.
of my legs.
Yeah. You could kick him in the nuts and poke him in the eye while he's latched onto your arm.
Oh, I'm going to tackle that fucker and twist his arms off and then break his neck.
Andrew, I have a serious question for you. If you had a daughter, would you rather her be left in the forest with a bear or a human male? Have you heard this?
Definitely a human male.
Have you heard this question? Why is this popular?
I don't know. Some girl said that she'd be better off with a bear than a human male.
How do you believe anything on the internet? Do you believe anything on the internet? It's very...
I'd say about half of it.
Maybe. It's very...
Yeah.
It's very
well, you
hard
know,
to
like when it
tell.
comes to these sorts of abstract questions, it's always half and half.
Because there's so much shit
It's
on the
just the
internet
easy
that I'm like,
answer.
this isn't real. And then somebody gets shot, and I'm like, I guess that happened.
But did it?
Maybe.
Like, it didn't happen on my street. Like, I don't know.
That's true. Like, is this...
I don't freaking know.
Man, you see some real fucked up shit on the internet.
Yeah, and then you go outside and the birds are chirping and everything's happy and the squirrels are yapping at you and
You touch grass and you
the
realize
neighbors are
that life
nice.
is good.
Yeah.
Life is mostly good if you're not doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And the internet is just fucking a good place to get information and do stuff. Yeah. It's a good resource.
Yeah, and you can even do stupid shit. Just do it in your own space with your own stuff. Nobody cares.
Do you have a? Do you ever meditate?
Not really. Not the way they tell me to.
Wait, are you like a patient in a meditation clinic, and you don't do it properly? Like they tell you to do it? How do they tell you to meditate?
I don't know. Like you get these pseudo gurus that tell you that you gotta like. I don't know. I don't remember the last time somebody was telling me how to meditate.
Do you ever turn the voice off in your head?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Oh, that's a good question. Just let it run itself out. Just like, yeah, we'll think about that later. Kind of just kind of
Do you ever stop
maybe
thinking?
concentrate on being happy.
I think
Or not being not happy.
meditation might be a waste of time.
I wonder about that.
If you wonder about that, then you're definitely not a meditator then. It's so hard to have you ever try to relax? I might have a tense issue. But I always feel like I could relax more.
Yeah. All right, let's see. How are we going to relax?
What's
Well, they say come back to your breath. I think that's important.
Do you have a breathing technique?
Yeah, I go.
In and then out? You're good?
That's what life is. It's breathing in and out. It's not one or the other. It's not good or bad. It's the flux between the two of them. It's doing both. So it's like science and religion. Like you need both of them. One's breathing in, one's breathing out.
But what happens when the Zeke guys take science and makes it a religion?
Well, that's the problem with the ages. Like everybody has to discover what's true for themselves. So, like, so much of what's in popular culture is just a bunch of crap, and then you just gotta put up your filters and get as close as you can. Like nobody
gets
the whole truth. It just doesn't happen.
I have
okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the number pi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know the first three. I know the physical 2 and then the 0.14 blah 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 blah.
Yeah, 3.14. That's enough. That's as much as you need. Pi is a riddle. So it makes a statement, and the statement is, you can't know it all. Because you can't even know the basic relationship between a circle and a line. So if you can't know that relationship, then how are you supposed to know anything more complicated than that? So that's the statement it makes. So the question it's asking is, if you can't know it all, can you know enough?
I can know enough to not smell like feces in the morning.
Yeah. Well, okay, so can you know enough to live a happy life? Can you know enough to prosper and be strong?
No. I don't understand
Not
tax
even that
codes. Tax codes are very confusing, and I think if I knew them better, I could probably live a better life.
Well, tax codes are purposely confusing, I think. Yeah. So going back to pi. So the three is religion. That's your holy trinity. And the other part of the 3.141596992 whatever it is, that's your science, because that's the exacting and takes a lot of work where you have to have all the details, right? So one side of that dot is science, 1.1415926 blah 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 blah, and then you got three is your religion, your holy trinity.
All right.
So if you go 3 times the diameter around the circumference of a circle, you'll be over 95% there. And then that last little bit is just your leap of faith.
Me jumping.
Yeah. So you just need to know enough. You just need to know that 3. And that 3 is your body, mind, and soul.
Andrew, have you ever been skydiving?
I have.
Really?
Yeah, they like pulled the chute immediately because we went tandem, because I only ever went the once. And he's like, we're spinning, and so I had to pull the chute immediately. But I was like, I was the one making us spin because I could feel in the air currents. Like, if I did this, then we'd go that way. And so then I was doing that, so we'd go like really fast that
He's
way.
like, you're not in control
the
here.
other way.
I'm in control here.
Yeah.
Did it hurt your ears?
No, but it hurt my crotch, dude. I thought I was going to rip my legs off.
Oh, yeah. I can't jump. I wouldn't do that. I can't jump out of no airplane.
It is freaky for like the first second. And then after, like, just in free fall, it was
It's
like,
oh, okay.
We're fine. And I was just like, this is fucking awesome. Until he ripped that cord and about ripped my legs off.
Have you ever been... this is a dumb question, maybe. Have you ever been baptized?
Oh, yeah. Mormons baptize. They do the whole full immersion in the water. You gotta go all the way down.
Now,
And if your knee pops up.
what do you think changed your life more? Being baptized in water or baptized in, like, 10,000 feet of air? Like, imagine there was a baptism in air, like you throw people out of airplanes to baptize them.
I would say those are actually really close for different reasons.
Why do they baptize in water?
skydiving.
Like, do you know? Like, you probably know a lot more than I do. Like, what is the reason that they dip you in water for a baptism?
Well, I'm not 100%. My guess would be that it's cleansing. Like, okay, what they're doing is they're doing a cleansing, right? They're cleaning your soul so that you can make it into heaven. So how do you clean? Like, you shower, you bathe. So they're literally just giving you a bath.
Should they put like cleaners in the water? There should be like a bubble
put a little
bath.
Dawn
I don't
and
think
a
of
rubber
like
ducky.
baptisms in bubble baths.
Yeah. Totally. You know, give you like a towel and just like scrub your arms off and get between your.
Do you remember your baptism?
Yeah. Well, I remember after it. I remember being in the car after it and like considering like, oh, I'm a good person now, kind of a thing. Having those feelings. I was 8. Mormons don't baptize until you're 8.
I've never been baptized. I've been to baptisms. I think it's weirder to say I've been to a baptism than being baptized, because baptism sounds more spooky than being baptized. It's just, I'm very drunk.
Well, it is an ism.
Yeah, I
It
think
speaks a
isms
lot. It's
are...
like-
Ises
those
are
creepy.
less spooky than isms. Isms are spooky.
I don't know. I feel like ised.
And Ises
Getting
is
ised?
spookier.
Well, I mean, I would say it's possibly equally spooky.
There is an I and a Z in both of them, right? So
No, it's ISM or IZED.
I think that
Ized.
Yeah, I think the Z might be
He's been
spookier
izzed.
than the S. That's Do you think language is real? Or are we just trying to communicate with each other and we're barely succeeding?
I think we actually do a really good job in a lot of ways. I think most of us. Yeah. I mean, well, lying is the destruction of a language. That's where you're turning it all bad and ruining the words, which is why you can't listen to politicians.
Do you think you could explain your feelings
Semi-accurately.
100%?
I'd say
Like,
over 90%.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think I could probably use language to tell people how. Ah!
Well, I have a very organic idea of language. So you have like all the dictionaries and the lexicons, so like your thesauruses, dictionaries, encyclopedias, all that kind of stuff. But language is organic, like it was born out of us. And we didn't like write the dictionary and then study it really hard and be like, oh, so then we use these words perfectly, properly, blah, blah, blah. No, we started speaking and then we wrote the dictionaries to reflect what we were saying. So language is organic first. And the whole point of language is just to get your point across. So if you say a bunch of like ain'ts and don'ts and you're using a bunch of non-words, that's fine as long as the other person understands you. Like, that's totally fire.
Do you know what really
not cap.
freaks me out about language? Is like there's a limit to the frequencies and tones that people could create. So we're kind of locked in to a certain vibration to express how we feel. But it seems pretty good enough. So, hey.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of those vibrations will just like shake your organs apart, blow out your eardrums.
Have you ever had a surgery?
They they circumcised me when I was.
They didn't castrate. I hope
it.
they didn't cut your winkers.
No, I still got most of it.
Have you ever been put under, like using what's that called?
Yeah. Fentanyl. Thanks, Servo. Yeah, they gave me fentanyl when they pulled out my wisdom teeth.
Oh, they knocked you out?
And it was glorious. She was like, I'm going to count to 10, and by the time I get to 10, you'll be asleep. And I was like, oh, she's full of shit. 1, 2, 3, out. And then I woke up, and I was like, are you putting me under now? And she's like, we're done. I was like, what?
Do I still have to pay you guys?
For like a day.
It
was wild.
I've never been put under, but I could imagine what it's like. Ooh, all right, I got one more question, then we gotta go.
Okay.
Have you ever
You're gonna bring me back sometime, aren't you?
I could talk to you, man. You could call me 917-719-5923.
Hey, I got your number.
You could call me.
Dude,
whenever.
wait, before you give me your question, I got something to tell you.
Sure.
719 is a thing here. That's like the area code for Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
917.
So when you're like 917-719, I'm like, we should do 719-917.
You get a Google number. You could do it up. It might be already taken, but yeah, New York used to be 718 and 212, and then there was the 917 when the cell phones came out, and I grabbed me a 917 and I was like, I'll flip it to 719, and then I got whatever I got after it.
All right, give me your question. I'm ready.
Do you remember
Orange juice over Sunny D?
Do you remember your first phone number? Your first house's phone number?
495.
No, stop. Okay. It's probably your password.
It's not my number anymore.
I know, but it might be useful to you somehow. But either way, that's how it's ingrained. No, that was my. Do you ever lucid dream? Have you ever had a lucid dream?
I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I've never like really shifted the dreams to where I was doing what I wanted to do.
Really? Do you
Like, I've
dream?
never like totally taken control.
Do you have
Yeah,
do
I
you have
dream a lot.
dreams? Are they like vivid?
Yeah.
You could take control. You could do it.
My favorite ones are the ones where I fly. Well, and I don't know that I want to either, because I feel like dreams give you really good introspection as to how you're doing, like what your day was like, and like where you are psychologically.
Yeah.
So, like, if I took control and was like, no, this is what we're going to do, then I feel like I wouldn't have that reflective capacity of the dream to, like, you know,
I'm
you should be considering these things, Andrew.
I have become a really good lucid dreamer, and when you could control them, your dreams, people just become completely fake, and it's not fun.
Like the people in your dreams?
Yeah, you're like, I can make you say whatever I want, and now you're going to say what I'm going to tell you to say, and then they don't become their own entity, and that is kind of not fun and scary. And the strange thing is, your life is mostly your own perspective, but I think we crave and need other perspectives on us. It's weird.
I'd agree with that.
Because you're only in your own head, and when there's other clashing ideas or thoughts, it could change you, and maybe for the better or for the worse. There could definitely be bad influences on people, but it's weird. So where did the first thought come from, and where is the last one gonna go?
Well, yeah. I don't know. Was there ever a beginning to all of this? Or did it just... has it
Always was.
been and always
Man,
will
there
be?
can't just. Maybe there was just always is, and we just can't fathom it because we won't be, or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's one of the big things that a lot of religions, they always try to do that. They always try to define the origin so that they can be the authority for telling you how it's all going to end, and then you have to give them their money.
It's the promise. What if there was a religion that told you the end and then promised you the origin for money?
Oh. So, like...
You're
well,
gonna
we
die.
all know it ends in a zombie apocalypse.
But if you want to
But
know
we're going to tell
how
you where
that
the
started,
zombies came from.
yeah, then you got to give me money now.
It was a mix of pharmaceuticals. Or they crawled out of the crypts of Paris. Or
It was
or
the
it was just
Umbrella
rabies.
Corporation. Rabies is
Yeah, the
fucking
umbrella.
scary. Rabies.
All right. Well, we're all gonna get rabies 2.0. That's what disease X is. Sorry, people. Like
Well-
5 of you are gonna die.
Mr. M. Andrew Jones, it has been a lovely conversation with you tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been quite fun.
I'm happy to have you here. If you ever want to call in, you can call in and talk to me whenever. I'm always here Wednesday night. You know where I am.
All right. I got your phone number.
917-719-5923.
Yeah, that.
But you could always contact me.
Tattoo it on the forearm.
Or you could message my my handler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did my
Do you know what
handler
agency
contact
he's
you,
with?
or did you contact my handler?
They contacted me, but I asked him. They contacted me about something else.
Huh.
Did he volunteer to get me on the show? I think he name dropped you, and then I was like, "Yeah, I want to do that."
Nice. All right, he's still very handy, that handler.
Yeah, he's a good guy,
He is.
despite himself.
I hung out with my handler. He took me out to eat.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know he's up in that area from time to time.
He's through here. But and if I ever come down there or in there, Middle America, Will you take me in?
So we're clear out in the mountains. Yeah.
I need to
Yeah,
go.
I
I need
got
to
a
check
tent
out
we'll pitch in
Colorado.
the
And I
backyard.
have some friends out there. I do have some buddies out there.
It's a good time. This is a beautiful state. 300 days of sunshine. That's what they tell me.
What's the
I
weather
don't go
out right
outside
now?
often.
Does it rain?
Yeah, it rained for like maybe 20, 30 minutes today.
I like rain. I like rain.
When we get rain, it tends to stick around for maybe a couple of hours and then,
go away.
yeah.
I like rain for weeks.
Oh, God. You should go to
England.
Southern California for the winter.
Oh, all right. I need to check. That sounds good. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, England would be good.
Maybe.
Do you get that? Do you get like rain for the weeks?
Sometimes there's definitely storms that could fly around for like a week or so. And
Every once in a while we'll get like storms that stay a day or two, but we normally get the afternoon thunderstorms.
Yeah.
So they'll like roll in about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then like 6, 7 o'clock they're played out, and that's usually the way it goes.
I like to wake up to a storm rolling in, and then going to bed to a thunderstorm, and then waking up to some more rain, and then it going away. No, I don't know. I like water. I think water has a very spiritual connection to me. That's why I live near the coast.
Yeah. Yeah, if I wasn't living by the mountains, I would live by the coast.
I don't.
I do love the ocean.
Do you have water near you? Do you have like a lake or anything?
We got streams. I don't
streams,
have any
okay,
lakes
that's good.
nearby.
Streams are even better than lakes. Running water is better than still water.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay. Well,
But it's cold as shit. Up here, the water is like fresh out of the mountains. It's snow melt is like 40 degrees if you're lucky.
aren't your rivers filled with Coors? No, that's
Tastes like Coors. Kind of looks like it.
because there's people peeing in there. Is there homeless people in Colorado?
There's homeless people everywhere.
That's.
Yeah.
It's a
I
dumb
live downtown. I actually like. They're not far off. They're like half a mile. They're walking down the sidewalk.
Do you? Oh, well, okay. So, do you have like a homeless person that you know, like every day you see him, like, oh, there's that same homeless guy?
Oh, surprisingly, no. But
All right,
then,
well, and I have that all the time.
yeah.
Like, there's that same guy for the past 5 years. Fuck.
Are you walking like the same paths every day?
Oh yeah. Same 5 blocks.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't see that actually.
Well, there's also a shitload of people in New York. There's the Colorado's pretty big too, though. Are you like in the city in? I need to go to Colorado, man. I'm sure. There's.
They say Colorado Springs is geographically bigger than New York City.
Geographically,
I mean, it's
yeah.
like it's all suburbs. Like our downtown's like maybe 10 square blocks.
Do you drive? Do you have a car?
Yeah.
What kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Saab 9.3.
All right, everybody, we're gonna have to end the show here. I can't believe you drive that. Okay, we're gonna
My snob? I love my snob.
No, we're not gonna. No, okay, we have to go now. This show is over.
But I have so much more to say.
I'm Andrew Jones. We have to talk another night, my friend. We will discuss.
All right. I love y'all, people. And they're not making me pay. They're not paying me to say that. These rats have left me alone. The truth serum is still in me. Good night.
Do you know who Art Bell is?
Yeah. He's not still around, is he? He's the old Coast to Coast guy, right?
Yeah, he died.
Oh, that's Greg Norrie now.
Snorri. Anyway, okay. Damn, now I'm sad. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, M. Andrew Jones, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, definitely. Bye, Nick. Bye, everybody. Bye, Sewer.
Have a great night. Good night. I'm not good at goodbyes, but I am good at Dark Matter by Atomic STR. I'm Andrew Jones. What a good guy. Good writer, too. Buy his books. I'm AndrewJones.com.
You will freeze as you watch a warped scientist become transformed into a godless beast when his bloody scalpel probes the forbidden secrets of a woman's flesh. In Atom Age Vampire, you will flame to the stark ritual of a beautiful girl's last searing dance, as tragedy forever mars her loveliness, leaving her to face a world of terror.
I give you my word that I will restore your face, restore all your beauty.
You will cringe as the demented doctor experiments with a girl's trusting innocence. But to possess the living miracle wrought by his twisted genius, he must forever sacrifice his soul to the cunning gods of evil.
A transplant directly from another human being.
A mad creature born of the atomic age, now shackled to a world of rotting bodies and violent death. A sadist, a criminal, a depraved animal, more ferocious than Jekyll, more monstrous than Frankenstein, more bloody than Dracula.
Fire a volley through the window pane.
You will gasp as lust and madness stalk the dark and screaming night in Atom Age Vampire.
Timeshares is the hot new word in the sewers. You might be walking around down here, hearing Bertha and Martin talking about how awesome their new timeshares are. They're in the sewer, but they don't live here. But when they do, it's because they have a timeshare. You need to get a timeshare in the sewer today. Tired of living above ground? How about you get closer to the roots of your world and your planet through a sewer timeshare? For only $69.99 a month, you can get your own room in the sewer with a sewer timeshare. Wouldn't you like to be a proud owner of a sewer timeshare? Well, come on now and give us a call at 917-719-5923 and get a sewer timeshare. Why not buy one for your whole family? It's only every month you have to pay money so you can come down to the sewers and live here for a couple of days. It's a timeshare. Other people come down and live inside the same sewer hole that you lived in because they bought the same timeshare as you. They're sharing time with you. See, you live there. You do all your dirty deeds like drugs, cocaine, murder, and sex. Then you leave. Then Bobby and his wife and his 3 children can come on down to their timeshare, which is the same timeshare that you just raped and murdered people. It's a great in the sewer. It's a great time. It's a great time to share. Share today for only $69.99 a month in the sewer timeshares.
Hello, everybody. That's great. I really enjoyed talking to Manderson, Mr. Manderson, Mr. Manderson J. It's funny. He shaves his pubes, and the coffee shop finds out about it, and then he starts writing books. You never know when you're going to. These things are great. Check them out, everybody. Okay, look. I want to get these headphones off too, but I still have to wear them because I'm about to play some video games. But tonight was great. We had a great evening. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I hope you learned something. I hope you forgot something that you didn't want to remember. And I hope you inspire yourself to look for future things to remember and to forget. I hope the thread of your reality has expanded beyond the twine ball of what it was. The unraveling is not only happening to everything in reality, it's also happening to you. You are unraveling. You are losing what you were forced into. You are becoming nothing. And altogether, we are all becoming nothing together. in a big stew in the sewer, and it's fucking cool. We'll be back next week with more Nick the Rat Radio. All the music you could, we'll thank people next week. The donation segment has been pushed off. You could always go to nicktherat.com. You can go to mandersonjones.com. Check that out. Is Jones like the best last name? Like if I was Nick the Rat Jones, would that help sales? I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna get out of here after I play some video games. So stick around for the after show. Go to nicktherat.com. Go to twitch.tv/Nick. I've been seeing people on Kick. I've seen Hog Story on Kick. Fletcher and Carolyn are looking and sounding great on Kick. I was watching them on Kick, and then I imagined myself on Twitch, and I'm like, I think like the Kick interface looks better than the Twitch interface. Either way, I don't know. I'm gonna stick around here on Twitch though. Try to get those Bezos bucks. Either way, thank you, M. Anderson Jones. Thank you, Sewer Chat. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, everything. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Jay Delva. Good night, America.
Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these.
You can get out of that easily.
Yeah. How?
Well, when a boss wants you to work on a Saturday, it generally asks you at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So all you got to do is avoid them. That's all right. I got it. On the last few hours on Friday, duck out early, turn off your answering machine. You should be home free, man.
That's a really good idea.
Don't kill animals. Rats have rights. Why